One.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Winter Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. The sports program starts right now.
Much money!
Much money to you boys as well. The Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here, looking sharp.
Thank you.
Tone had adult life that he had to take care of this morning, so he did miss the morning Thunderball Boys sesh. That was top notch this morning with one of the guys in the back at Evan Foxy.
Hello.
Hey, good playing this morning. You look super cool today too, pal.
Thank you. Great playing. Thunderball is the greatest game on earth. It's just a more athletic version of pickleball. It's the best.
Listen, I'm not saying that good pickleball players wouldn't be able to pick up Thunderball, but our game is certainly different than pickleball.
Yes.
I watched that pickleball slam this weekend with Chris Fowler on the call, McEnroe, Chang, Roddick, and Augusty.
Yep. Andre.
And his wife, I think.
Yeah, Steffi Graf.
She made an appearance in there. Okay, I didn't want to get too many things wrong there. I don't want to put anybody in any jeopardy. Definitely a similar game to what we play here.
Yeah.
We got a little bit more running and movement, I think.
They have such good hands, though.
John
hands.
John McEnroe is going to start playing pickleball, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
And they needed him there.
Yeah.
He was a massive piece of it. But it was great battling with you boys this morning in the morning Thunderball session. Foxy is the mannequin. You know when you go to a store
what do you want?
and it's like the mannequins up there? That's his body build.
Yes.
So he can literally walk. You know how people do like window shopping, and when you go car shopping, you actually see the fucking car? Like when Foxy walks into a store, it's like, oh, that mannequin, pretty good. I'll take the mannequin, whatever it's wearing.
Good fit.
That mannequin, I'll take the mannequin's pants over there and the mannequin shirts over there. So he's super high fashion. Today you killed it, Foxy.
Thank you, sir. H&M, Target, our store. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Boom.
Dude, he walks right, not the Under
No.
Armour, man.
Yeah.
No.
Clarify that.
No, different. We're talking about skinny, white,
Yeah.
basic mannequin.
Forever 21 mannequin.
Yeah.
Under Armour mannequin's Dewey Johnson, isn't it? So that's
pretty
really
much.
none of us.
No, he was a dude from, I think, Mobile, Alabama. I actually met the person, I think.
Really? Just a yoke son of a bitch.
Y'all see a leprechaun say, yeah.
Yeah, well, that also happened in Mobile, Alabama. I mean, what a run down there. The founder of Mardi Gras, Mobile,
right.
Alabama.
Unreal.
Anyways, Foxy, great battling this morning. At Viva Lazito's right next to him. Nick Moraldo's in the second stage there. And also Dirty. We got Mitt on the phones on the 5 Energy phone line. 1-833-432-3663. 1-833-4-DOME. Yeah, you just said Dirty's name. Dirty's one of the coolest names in the history of people. But also his graphic design work really taking it the next step, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Top notch.
He's been working out too. You see him pumping iron in the hot
Wow.
house.
Oh,
yeah.
Hello, baby Dirty. Proud of you, Dirty.
Go, Dirty.
Billy McComas is back throwing weight around in the morning and joining us on stage yet again. Has a locker in the Thunderdome now.
Yeah.
14-year NFL corner Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Hey, thank you for the locker, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Welcome to the
Don't
team.
look at us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you. There's claps in the back, too.
Go, Pac.
You got stick taps in the back, too,
Smell
pal.
me, Pac.
You've done a great job. We're very thankful that you've been able to make this kind of work in your life. You drive over from Cincinnati, hour and a half trip, roughly, right? Hour 40.
Oh, 10.
Depends on the
Whoa,
guy.
whoa, let's be
Oh,
smart,
hey.
especially with tornadoes going on. By the way, weather aware Wednesday seems like everywhere in the Midwest, most specifically here in Indianapolis. T's and P's, positive thoughts with everybody. We're scared to death about what could potentially come. The Doppler is not being nice right now, but you have enough time to make it back home after doing the whole show here and run your kids to death. Hey, I saw
Tormented.
I saw your kids on Instagram last night. You know, they're running hills. Junior's going to be a dog.
Yeah.
Trinity seemed like she was ready to fucking fight you last night. Good parenting out of you, Pac-Man. I enjoyed watching it.
I appreciate it. But, yeah, she called me everything but the child of God yesterday. But, hey, bro, you got to start them young. And I'm teaching my kids, you got to work for what you want.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about
Anything.
things, goals. So they want to be the best. I'm just going to do my best and try to do things so they can skip the line, which that hill is one of them. It's a hell of a hill. It's about 220 yards from the bottom of the
It
hill.
looked so far.
Looked so
So
far.
far. I'm from Pittsburgh, a lot of hills. I think hills are a great way to train. I think any person that has ever done it would sing its absolute praises. watching your kids run up those things last night. There was a Cadillac Escalade at the bottom.
That's right.
Great at the bottom of the hill. So you kind of get comfortable, right? You start looking around. Your Trinity, your little junior, you start looking around. You're like, oh, life is pretty good here. And then you got, let's go up at the top. And they're running sprints. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, it was a good day. I'm quite sure they sold today, but you got to work hard, man. So I got nothing but D1 and superstars. So I told you that. All these fucking kids are going to be superstars.
Oh, yeah.
If they say they want to do it, I'm going to push them so they can do it. So, yeah, yesterday was the hill day. Today, we doing them but like band work. So it'll be good.
Think about that. Just growing up, got band work and hills. Sure. You know, the guy who ran a 4.28 at the combine, 14 years as a corner in the NFL, is giving you basically the blueprint. Hey, this is what you need to do. Yeah. This is what everybody else is doing. When you get older, this is what you're going to be doing. So you might as well just get a head start on all of that right now. Generational talent is something that you literally can't teach. It's just like kind of all the benefits are surrounding you at all times.
Yeah, everything he's saying is exactly why we think in the draft, if you can get a kid who is the son of a pro or a brother of a pro, you can, like,
if he has the ability.
If he has the ability, yeah.
Not everybody's kids.
Yeah.
No.
Necessarily. You know what I mean? Not everybody's kids are.
As of late, there's been a lot of kids. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. this year now.
Hey, where he's going?
Probably, the New England Patriots, if I had to guess.
In your bra.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, Joey Porter Jr. on your
Oh. We picked before the Steelers, unfortunately, but probably New England. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, if you can get a second generation person, they already have all the answers to all the bullshit that could potentially come. The little things, let alone coming from you, Pat, getting dropped into a top 6 pick in Nashville, out of Morgantown, like all the little tricks of like handling life as a professional athlete and as how you take care of your body to keep it going. Such a weapon. You're a good dad over there, Pat. You know that. We have Eli Manning joining us today in about 21 minutes.
Okay.
Eli.
How about it? Kind of came out of nowhere.
Let's go.
Kind of came out of nowhere. Eli Manning's joining the show today. Future Hall of Famer, Eli Manning. Coming on the show today.
Champion.
2 times.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, what's Eli Manning's nickname also in the back there, running the computer in the backboard?
Goat Slayer, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's what he's trying to push.
Oh, okay.
Now, remember, Bruce,
Victor Cruz as well. I just found out he's in on it, too.
what's that he would like to push the Goat Slayer?
Yeah, he just said it, basically. Talking about him. He's both the GOAT and the Goat Slayer. Whoa. That's what he said.
Well, I like that out of Victor Cruz because Victor Cruz had that fucking cha-cha. Remember he went Dancing with the Stars? Where is he at? A university of somewhere in Northeast?
UMass, yeah.
Yeah, UMass. Tiny.
They weren't even D1 at the time. Now they are, and they get beat by 50, but still.
I remember, are they really?
Oh, yeah, they just elevated to D1, and they get the doors blown off them every single game.
I'm sure UMass has all the NIL money you could potentially need, though, to build that program back up. The next Victor Cruz is right around the corner.
Yeah, there's 7 UMasses, though, and unfortunately, the last UMass, the big recruit was Andy Isabella in Arizona.
He got drafted in like the 3rd round. He's a big-time player.
It's just since then.
Well,
I haven't seen much.
Victor Cruz came Monday Night Football. Was it a Monday Night Football game where
against the Jets, right, with Rex Ryan?
I think, right?
Yeah.
Is that whenever he came?
He scored like 3
3
touchdowns.
Yeah, it was the last preseason game. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns.
There it is. And think about that. That game doesn't matter at all.
No.
Except for to Victor Cruz, who came onto the scene and then go on and take over. The Goat Slayer, as termed by Bruce Brown and Victor Cruz, would be on the show in about 20 minutes. Can't wait to talk to him. I think he has played the golf course in which there's a big golf tournament coming up this weekend.
Oh, really?
I think he has.
So he knows.
I'm not 100% sure.
You would assume.
We have to ask him. I believe there's a member of his family that is potentially a member of the golf club.
Wow.
Okay.
That is hosting a rather large golf tournament this week that all eyes literally in the entire world are upon.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Georgia, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, down there in Georgia.
Down there.
Yeah, you know that
The
one.
only thing down there in the country, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Country is held
From what
down
I've
there,
heard.
But this place is, it's nice.
Historic.
Oh, yeah. Little slice of heaven.
The way people talk about this place and the way, from what I've heard, obviously, the way it's kind of operated, manicured, handled, everything down there is just like a piece of like golf heaven.
Yeah, well, they're
hey, this is a golf amusement park, pretty much. Like everything that's great with golf. Welcome to this place. History, like so many stories, legendary moments, and a business sense that I don't think any other tournament or function could ever figure out.
No.
They're crushing it down there, allegedly, from what I heard. I think Eli's been there.
Let's go.
So we'll talk to Eli about that and a lot of other things going on around the NFL world, because all we really remember about his draft is the fact that he said, nah, and ended up with the Giants.
Yep.
He was just a clear-cut number 1 overall going into that.
Kind of, yeah.
Sweet.
Is that he was the guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Book of Manning, they talk about
That's
it.
basically what we was talking about the other day when
Jalen Carter.
Yeah, didn't want to take visits after 9. Well, Eli told, hey, I'm not coming there. That was big. Shit.
That's a massive play.
Very smart.
Still talked about it ended up working out completely.
Yeah.
But I want to ask him about his draft process, about the visits, about how it went. Did he know he was going to be one? And if he was going to be one, what was the whole idea behind it? Because we're in the middle of that season right now. Not that would take place, even though it was kind of being alluded to with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But how big of a joke does that look like now? And we even had to talk about it because the people that were talking about it were pretty important figures in the Bengals history, quarterback history, and Burrow's life.
Right.
So, like, people mentioning that were like, wait, who's saying what and why?
It could.
And there is precedent of this before. And at that point, Cincinnati had no indoor facility. No, we know. I've gone through it all.
Right.
No scouting department, I don't think.
Big problem.
Like literally, hey, we are a mom and pop operation. The head coach, also head scout, and congratulations, potential GM at sometimes as well.
Right.
Going to need you to negotiate some deals. Now it's completely turned, it feels like. And I think Joe Burrow is a major driver behind that. And also Katie Blackburn, who I assume you know. Do you know who's running it now? It seems like it's a whole different vibe in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Katie and Troy's running everything now. Mr. Brown has stepped down, but and Katie's daughter is doing a lot of stuff too. But man, you got to upgrade things. And Joe is demanding a lot for the players, which I totally respect. Something that we didn't have, but we didn't have Joe Burrow. So it was only so much that we can ask for as a team.
Be who you can afford to be.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow could. Yeah.
Joe
Bingo.
Burrow could go and ask for the house, and it better get there within 6 to 7 months, because you don't get guys like this often. This guy is like the Eli, like the Peyton. Don't blink about nothing. He's always the same, even keel. He's special. So,
but whenever the conversation came up about him potentially not wanting to go to Cincinnati, even though he is an Ohio fuck by nature, born and bred in Ohio, it was like one that you could seem legitimate, because the Cincinnati report card, if we would have put it out publicly, for like 20 years straight, would have been F.
So bad.
Yeah.
And then the stories that would have came out. What are you guys eating for lunch over there? Oh, we actually get nachos from the stadium. Like that. The stadium nachos. That's what we're eating for lunch over here. It's like,
how?
What? This is the NFL? This sounds like a Little League. You guys getting orange slices too? It's like, well, if we get it delivered, we have to pay for that type of thing. That was the shit that was being said. Now it's like a big turn, and congrats to Cincinnati Bengals fans, because they're going to reap the benefits from all this. And same with the Bengals, who are going to benefit from this immensely, because when you invest in something, normally the returns come back bigger as well. But that storyline became an actual storyline during draft season, which is all bullshit. Doesn't feel like there's any of that this year, but I'll be excited to hear what Eli's thoughts are on all of it.
Well, and piggybacking off like the generational talent, having kids who put like on the other side of that with Eli, like the expectations he had going in, like I can't even imagine. I mean, granted, you're a Manning, you kind of understand that and everything, but Peyton's already doing his thing. You're going to be the number 1 pick. It's like the odds are just so stacked up against you before you even start, and then it happens where he kind of demands a trade, if you will, and it's like, okay, well, if this guy doesn't come out here,
very hateable moves.
Oh yeah, big time.
There was a lot of people talking a lot of shit, I assume, and he just had to be like, sit in it and be like, no, we're doing the whole family, I think, sat
Exactly.
in it. No, we're doing it.
Yeah.
It was
Archie.
We are doing this, and it ended up working out. And I think Giants fans are pretty happy about it. Bruce, you love old Eli, don't you?
I mean, basically changed my life in middle school. The other crazy thing about when he got drafted, like Kurt Warner was there, and sure, he was like kind of down and out. But we're talking about Kurt Warner winning games early, and just the whole stadium chanting Eli Manning.
Oh, what a feeling. That's quite a different feeling it probably was on draft night when there was a lot of people saying some negative stuff.
For sure.
So nice to hear that the Giants took him in early, and he will be forever a Giant, obviously. That's how his entire career ended. Can't wait to talk with him in 14 minutes. Drew Rosenhaus will join us in the second hour.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Drew Rosenhaus obviously has negotiated over $7 billion worth of deals with the NFL. So whenever we're talking about how there's a certain way about going and doing business with the NFL, whenever you're a player trying to negotiate a deal, like this guy knows the game.
Yeah.
Okay? He knows the game. $7 billion. He's also a guy who's had a few trades this offseason that have taken place. He got DJ Moore to Chicago, and Darren Waller out of Las Vegas to New York.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he got him or how it ended up working out. We will certainly ask him about that type of thing. And also, like, hey, what about the precedent here that we have with Lamar potentially trying to set and follow what Deshaun was able to get for $230 million? What is the real conversation amongst the agents? You know, and how they have to actually shape contracts. And will we ever get to the point where what Deshaun got in the middle of
Quite the situation.
it is wild to even
Quite the situation.
think that happened.
Yeah.
With what we're talking about with Lamar right now. Like there's people like, he wants $200 million guaranteed. Get this guy the fuck out of here. What, he doesn't deserve that. It's like, yo, a guy got $230 and he had the most serious allegations and actual court filings and
multiple.
like everything terrible.
You're telling me that didn't have to do nothing
More than
with
allegations,
relationships?
More than allegations. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Multiple states.
Everywhere happening at that exact time. And also, before those even came to light, he said, I don't want to play here, which could be labeled a distraction.
Just sat out.
Because he didn't want to play there. It's like all those things added in there are allegedly reasons why deals can't get done. And now you got this other guy, MVP.
Yep. Good Samaritan.
Beloved by all the communities that he's ever been in, has been grossly underpaid with the way he has performed, and now it's his time to go. And they're like, this guy can't get fucked. Fuck this guy. $200 million? How are we supposed to do that? It's like, I could see how Lamar could potentially be very fucking confused about why and how we've gotten to this point.
And now, like, you know, as it always happens, like the stuff that's coming out with like the character issues that they make up, or like he's lazy, you know, all this kind of stuff that
the recovery,
exactly, that they're doing just to drive his price down. Where it's like that wasn't even a topic. Like we were all talking about it. We all knew it with Deshaun Watson. It was like, fuck it, give him $230 million. That's what he wants. That's what we need to get him here. And Lamar on the other side, everyone loves him. He's loved in the community. He's literally never done anything wrong. Never been like a point of like, hey, this guy, like,
he's the face of the. He's literally the
face of the franchise.
There was 4 teams signed up because they had to agree to terms before they met with Deshaun or whatever. There was 4 teams who were ready to give up 3 first-round picks
and knew he was probably going to be suspended maybe the whole year after they got him.
Maybe even more. We didn't even know what it was.
Who was Deshaun agent?
Mulugeta.
Well,
relationships. He got relationships.
With
That's
everybody.
why Deshaun got that money.
Yeah, just
You
like
get what I'm saying?
just like Rosenhaus does. Yeah. Rosenhaus is down there in Miami, in South Florida. Maybe we ask him if he's ever just, maybe happened upon,
him.
Lamar's neighborhood.
Thought about it. Say, hey, we don't even have to. Let's get this one deal done. Then we go our separate ways.
Yeah, just make me a hired gun. I've done $7 billion in negotiations with these people. There's a lot of teams that could use you, Lamar. Don't you think this team would trade this quarterback quickly to put you on their team? Of course they would. That's the type of shit that agents, try to lay out there. We'll talk to Drew in about an hour. And then we got George Kittle in the third hour. I mean, we're talking Pac Show.
Show.
George Kittle, obviously, future Hall of Famer, absolute dog out of Iowa. Now for the Niners, he is a dog.
Yeah, laid a hand on Saturday.
So tall, helped me out at WrestleMania. Obviously, The Miz pushed him. Bad decision by The Miz.
Bad decision.
Stupid.
Just can't do it.
Like, we liked The Miz. We
Good
wanted
guy.
The Miz to have an opportunity to have a match. He couldn't fucking get out of his own way.
Couldn't.
Obviously. Tried to leave. Then he starts a fight with a 6'5" guy.
Jocked.
Out of Iowa, who's absolutely jocked and wearing a great tank top, which I can appreciate. Had to turn the ref, obviously, because this is illegal. But hey, what the fuck?
Gotcha.
I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay?
That's right.
If George Kittle wants to beat up a guy who pushed him, I'm 100% with it. Hello, baby George. Hey! George! Thank you, pal. He'll be joining us in the third hour. I got a chance to do him and his father have a podcast called the Hidden Pearls Podcast.
Okay.
Where they talk about life and motivation. And his dad's a coach. I don't know enough about his dad, but I will say his dad is jocked.
Absolutely jocked.
He's a beast.
Fucking jocked.
Yeah.
I did the podcast with them yesterday after our show, and he took off his shirt, tank top, was
Yoked up.
fucking shredded. He's doing a triathlon, 31 miles. I'll donate $500 for every mile that he completes of this triathlon.
There we go.
Yeah,
Look at him.
dude, he's doing a 1.5 mile swim,
Jeez.
20-something mile bike ride.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
It's like a marathon to close it, isn't it? Or like a half marathon?
I think it's a half to close it or whatever. Yeah, I think. That's bananas.
It's a mile and a half swimming.
He's got like 27 days till it happens. That just kind of came up in the conversation. And I was like, hold on.
Jesus.
What makes you want to do this? Like Phil, CFO Phil. This dude signed up for that fucking marathon in Pittsburgh. It was like, What do we?
After he almost died after the first one.
That's right, didn't he?
Well, I'm talking about the first one when
They did. Yeah.
When
you
he
do the
collided?
marathon. I guess it's all for that.
The medal.
The medal you get at the end, like you completed it. I assume there's some sort of fulfillment where I conquered this city, right? Like this city tried to beat me. I ran, I did it all. But the amount of time it takes to prepare for that, my body and lungs just ain't got it.
No way.
Just ain't got it. 26 miles, I ain't got it. So every single step of the way that Phil was doing it, it was a very big like, hey, good on
Yeah.
you.
Good for you.
Good on you, buddy. Because he's just beating the shit out of himself.
Oh, yeah.
4 or 5 months to get to this whole thing. And then he starts the marathon, doesn't finish, didn't even get the medal.
Yeah.
Guy had to get taken out of the hospital, almost died.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
terrible.
Was tracking him on the internet. Well, where's this fucking asshole at? Oh, he's going faster than he's ever gone in his life. He was on pace to break a record.
My
This guy was like
witness.
competing
Yeah.
at this thing. And then bang, his number disappears from the race. It's like, must have finished. It must have lost him. Technology sucks. And then hour passes,
Lo
2
and
hour
behold.
passes, 3 hour passes,
Blood.
4 hour passes.
Blood.
And where the fuck is this guy? Phil's in the hospital. He has regained consciousness.
Wait, what do you mean? You run into a pole?
What? No, I think his body just said, nah,
Shut down.
just shut down.
Yeah.
So then I could see how he wanted to do it again afterwards.
Right.
Because now there's like
This thing beat me.
Yeah.
now there's like a person. But that first sign up, a lot of courage for people to do that. You're super fit. You ever do any of that stuff?
No. I don't. No. Bro, I couldn't swim probably, maybe 200 yards. I'm not the best swimmer.
Me neither. I
I would
can't
probably
float.
fucking drown.
Swimming so hard.
Dude, they're swimming in
Where's
lakes.
Pac? Yeah, he tried to do the tough man contest. He's dead.
Yeah.
Those triathlons are crazy though.
No joke.
I think Phil's signed up for a fucking triathlon now. Has zero swimming experience. He's not like zero. He's never been on a swim team. I guess we took like swim class in high school. Who knows if he
He had an
participated?
above ground.
High school.
Yeah, he did have an above ground pool in the backyard. Oh, that was the host of a lot of great times, that particular pool.
Nice.
So I guess he has swam laps, but
Seen
potentially
him in water.
played pool basketball.
I've never seen him.
Can he float?
Do a stroke though.
I hope he can float. He's going to have to fucking swim like in a lake with other people swimming
Yeah.
on top
A
of
lot
it.
of chop.
And
That's
shot.
gonna be waves too, right?
Yeah.
Do they have like a life vest for him or something?
I don't
He
think
better
you're
get some
allowed.
flippers. Those little feet
Yeah.
of his
That's
aren't going to
cheating. You
propel
can't do
him.
that.
Can't
No
do it.
way. No way you can do that.
Well, and that's the most daunting thing. You said it. Like, you sign up for one of these things. Like, that's all good and well. Like, it's just one day that you're doing it. You have to prepare for months so that you don't die out
It's a fight camp.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real fight camp. Like, all right, I'm going to commit 6 months of my life to get to the point where maybe I can complete this thing.
Right.
I'm like, what do you get at the end of it? Like $100,000? No.
Nice, sweet metal.
Cool.
That looks terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gold.
I'm drowning. I'm dead. I'm
Me
done.
too.
Think about that. They're swimming on top of each other, too. Nobody's
Yeah.
giving a damn thing about anything. When you play pool basketball and somebody starts getting a little bit underwater, you start getting that feeling of like, oh, I'm going to die here.
Yeah. Sure.
Think about doing that out in the middle of fucking nowhere. No way.
That just looks like lunch for Takate.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah,
That's right.
Takate is free down there
That's
in down there in Miami.
I hope they're not doing it
Lolita.
there.
Anyways, good luck to Bruce Kittle and to Phil.
Yeah. Good luck, boys. Go get him.
Let's go, Phil.
That sucks.
I don't know what Phil's deal is, but I love that he's trying to do it all. I've team sports, running is punishment.
Yeah.
Every time.
Hey, you fuck up, we're gonna run all night. Like I've heard that in every sport that I've played.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to. That's something I do not want to do. So I'm going to perform very well here. Played soccer during the spring for West Virginia, and it was after my junior year. It was after those missed kicks. Didn't know what my future was going to hold. Just wanted to see, if I could still play soccer. So I went over there. I was not in soccer shape, okay? I was not in soccer shape. So we would have a couple practices, and at the end there was like a game. And it was like, all right, we'll play to 5. Loser has to run. Okay, I scored 3 fucking goals in that game. You know why?
I'm not running.
Can't run.
I did not. And then it was like losers and McAfee run because I'm not in good enough shape. So I was like, I wish I would have known that before this game.
Right.
Because I just gave everything for those
Yeah.
3. So I didn't have to do the, like any of that type of shit is just like a nightmare to me. So the people that can get past it mentally too, I guess, mental warriors out there. Congrats. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck.
I wasn't built for it.
No. And that whole once you run 18 miles, you'll hit that runner's high and you won't even know. You'll
ain't
just
never
keep
been
going. I think that's bullshit. I don't think that's real. I think that is a fugazi made up by distance runners to try to get more people to start doing it.
Or it's just their way to get out of the answer of us going like, that has to suck. And they're like, well, actually, and they're talking to lazy fuck who would never get to the stage far enough to
right
get
at that point.
Once you get to 20 miles, they probably change the mileage too by every person they talk to. Tone Diggs, once you get to about 11 miles, you're good. Look at Pac-Man. They're like, once you get to about 21 miles, it's a euphoric high that is
You're floating.
bigger than anything ever. How do you trigger a runner's high? 5 steps to a runner's high. Run longer. Okay. An easier run duration of 1 or 2 hours is a sweet spot for producing highs.
That's it.
Get more sleep. 8 hours of sleep a night is optimal for endocannabinoid production. Okay, so you can smoke dope too.
Cannabis?
Work out with others, listen to music. All right, so this is what I've been telling you runners, though. Like what you guys are, that's what we just get. You know? That's an easy.
Number one might be tough, though.
Run longer? Yeah, just rule 1.
1 to 2 hours.
All right, let's talk about some shit going on. Dan Snyder is open to selling the Washington Commanders to Jeff Bezos. This is obviously a massive development because people put in pitches to potentially buy the Commanders, and the only person that got to decide whether or not his team was actually for sale was Dan Snyder. Just yesterday, Magic Johnson was on the Today Show or Good Morning America or How You Doing? Up in the morning on television.
Right. Up in Adams.
Whatever the name it is. Up in Adams, maybe. I don't think it was that. It was actually in New York.
Yeah, I forgot that was.
But he said, I got a ring in every sport, but I need a Super Bowl ring. He was wearing a great suit and tie, by the way. Very jovial. He is a lightning rod every time he's on. And I would love to be the owner of the Commanders to not only do great work on the field, but to do the work we could do with the city. I think if they bless us, Mr. Snyder blesses us, with the opportunity to be an owner, it would be an emotional day for me. My father just died, so it would be a great moment for the Johnson family, as well as Josh Harris, who is the lead partner in this, to take that franchise and take it to another level. So I'm kind of excited about it. And another African-American owner, by the way, is what Magic just threw out there to the entire NFL, which is very true. He has his LAFC team in the MLS just won. He has the Dodgers. They've won in the past. He has the Spark. They've won in the past. So this would be, obviously, the NFL winning a Super Bowl would be the grand slam of ownership titles for Magic Johnson, who has been an incredible businessman since the day he got money. The thought, though, that Dan Snyder is the person that Magic Johnson on this morning show has to say, you please, Mr. Snyder, is a you don't think that's a position that Dan Snyder's bopping his meat to?
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. Allegedly.
100%.
Allegedly. He's on that yacht, docked up at Napoleon's home island over there in France, bopping his meat to the thought that Magic Johnson has to get on TV and say, please, Dan, let us give you $6 billion. So now today it's been reported that Dan Snyder told Jeff Bezos months ago that he is okay to buy the Commanders, and Dan Snyder now has a healthy understanding that Jeff Bezos does not control what the Washington Post investigates or writes. He is merely an owner. That's via Charles Gasparino, Fox Business Market reporter.
There it is.
So that is where we stand with the Commanders. Bezos potentially has known that he could get in, has not made an official offer yet. Is he just waiting until the very end to stop with the fuckery and then just going to go $100 million more than whatever the next person is? Or is Bezos not going to be in for the Commanders because he doesn't want to own that particular franchise that still needs a stadium and a lot of new shit to potentially be a program of the future that can run early?
Well, even $100 million. Like, why wouldn't Bezos just say, okay, you know what, $6 billion is what you want? I'll just give you $7 billion. Because by the time I get this money to you, I probably already made another $1 billion off the stuff with Amazon.
That is what Bezos does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like it doesn't even matter for him. That's not even.
Wouldn't he be all fucking jacked up to build a stadium and name it fucking Jeff Bezos.com stadium? And
Prime, probably call it the Prime House.
Like he lives for that. That's like one of the only things he hasn't done is make his own fucking stadium and own a sports team.
I'm surprised he hasn't just built a city yet at this point, but he's always just on his yacht, all jocked. Jeff Bezos always jocked.
Super jock.
He helped build Seattle's arena for the hockey team. He helped
the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Yeah, he helped with
Wow.
that.
How are they? Are the Kraken good?
Pretty good. They're gonna make playoffs this year.
Hey!
How about it?
The Crack House is a good stadium.
Started from a tight shirt with Sean Kemp.
Yeah, that is that. Well, he was having a little self-defense situation in the parking lot the other day, Sean Kemp.
That's right.
But what do you think about the Commanders sale, Pac-Man? Obviously, if Jeff Bezos gets in there, that's a lot of money coming in the league. That's good for players. That's good for everybody. In my mind, I wonder how other owners would feel.
Oh, I think they would like it. I think this is now that Bezos is in, and he just came out and cleared up the Washington Post thing. I think he gets it over Magic, but you never know. I don't know.
Hold on, wasn't Bezos going to have Jay-Z and Matthew McConaughey allegedly a part of his crew? Right, allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Which would also have another.
So think about Snyder going, Bezos, I did tell you that Gonna need a song on a Jay and Beyonce in there. You know,
My birthday
hey,
party.
we are tired. Shout out Dan Snyder. You know,
There's a reason why Magic came out and saying please.
Yes.
Yeah.
He ain't just coming out to fucking say please for no reason.
Wouldn't the other owners want the Magic group though, because they already own sports teams, so they're kind of more aligned with the other owners. Where Bezos comes in, and those owners have no idea what he's going to be like. He could be. He's not part of the old guard. He's part of a new money, new guard. He could do fucking anything.
It's interesting because the Waltons came in. They don't have any other sports teams, I do not believe, except for the brother Stan, who has every sports team.
Yeah.
So I guess they do have a little bit of experience in the sports world. Bezos has. I'll be intrigued to see what the Amazon Thursday night package.
Yeah, does that
and then the
change?
Black Friday game that is allegedly supposed to be Amazon exclusive, new American tradition is what they're going to, I think, try to start to create this year. I wonder if Bezos will have to remove himself from that. I don't know how you do that though.
Right.
Because that's like.
Or do he play all his games on Amazon?
Yeah, that's
the
what.
Commanders.
And then, well, how will the other owners feel? I mean, there's a lot to probably get figured out there. Dan Snyder's in control of it all, which is right where Dan Snyder wants to be. This is one of the greatest trolls of all time. Dan Snyder.
Oh, yeah.
Joining us now is the man who is referred to as the Goat Slayer by Bruce Brown, who is obviously the Giants fan in the office. I had a chance to play golf with him on a golf course down in the South just a few weeks back. This guy's a fucking stick, dude.
Hell yeah.
Two-time Super Bowl champion, Walter Payton Man of the Year, absolute legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Eli Manning.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? How we doing? Thanks for having me on.
Dude, thank you for coming on. I told you this in the text message that I sent to you asking you to come on. I asked him to come on like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
He wasn't able to come on, you know? And I was like, don't know how much I know Eli. Obviously just got shot down. So I sent another one out like an hour ago. I'm like,
An hour? Yeah. Not about what about a little heads up here, Pat?
It was like an hour ago. Hey, any chance 12:30 you could come on the show? And I thought I was going to get a negative response. You said, I can do it. So Eli, we appreciate the hell out of you.
Thank you, Eli.
Thank you for
Glad to
making
do
this.
it.
Thank you for making this happen. What are you up to right now? It looks like you just got off the course. Have you been golfing, or are you just having a nice little Wednesday here?
I could go play golf. You know, I'm always prepared. So whether it's a kid that I pick up from school and they say, hey, you want to go hit some golf balls, or I get a last minute, hey, you want to go play 9 holes? I'm always prepared. You just dress for golf, and that way, if it comes up, you're ready for it.
I played golf with you at a golf course, and I think it was the first time you were playing with this new set of clubs that you had, and you were fantastic. I mean, watching you hit a ball, he hit this big draw. I mean, it was beautiful. But the people we were golfing with, all they said was, well, what's that? Like that, they were acting as if that was not your normal golf game. Then I believe the next day you won like the par at this particular course, 72. I think you shot like a 70-5. This guy.
Damn.
Are you an incredible golfer? Is that normal? And why was everybody acting like what you were doing was not what you normally do on a golf course?
Well, the day before, I think I shot 88, so it's a big turnaround. The golf can be anywhere. You know, some days it's good, some days it's bad. I don't really have a rhyme or reason why that happens. I think a lot of people have that with golf, but I'm more interested in the people I'm with. You know, getting to play golf with you, we had a blast. You know, get to have a few cocktails afterwards. That's kind of more. You got 4 hours away from a phone, away from any autograph pictures, and just kind of hanging out with good people. That's what it's all about.
It was fantastic. It was a great time. Thank you for the stroke on that par 3. It was really a pivotal. That was really a pivotal moment in the battle, and I guess the golf community tells me I was wrong. The win felt good, though. You know what I mean? So it felt like it was great. Don't you think?
You don't feel guilty a little bit getting a shot on a par 3? I mean, it's a par 3. How do you take a shot, a stroke? I mean, you're a professional athlete.
Yeah,
you're an athlete.
But Eli, I mean, that particular hole, I think we would all agree, not an easy hole.
No, not at all.
Not an easy hole. Not an easy hole, Eli.
I know. It's not easy for anybody. That's why you take a stroke.
Oh, I know, yeah. Man, 3 for 2 on that hole was so nice. I wish you guys would have seen. I wish you would have seen the reaction at the next tee box not a positive environment.
Sure. No.
I mean, it was a bit. It got a little bit more serious there. That was a lot of fun. You were a fantastic person to share a golf course with, and I appreciate your kindness. Let's talk about golf, though. I'm not 100% sure if you've played at the course in which there's a golf tournament this particular week, but I do believe your brother has a pretty good connection to that place. What are your thoughts on Masters Week, and how do you think this year's going to go with allegedly the course being changed and how everything else is kind of faring down there?
It's a weekend I look forward to it. I think it's always always just exciting, and it's a course you've seen it on TV every single year. I've had the pleasure to go down there and play before, and so you can visualize, you can see where they are, what kind of putt they might have or what this shot is, and so it just makes it for so much fun to watch. I think it's always a little drama now with the live side versus the non-live, and you're like creating like some good storylines within the golf world and community, but all come together in Augusta this week. It should be fun. I think Justin Thomas, I think it's like the usual guys. Justin Thomas is kind of my guy I'm rooting for. Scheffler's playing great golf. I played with him in a pro-am a few years ago. Just a good guy, just absolutely never hits a bad shot. So, and then Tiger obviously draws a huge crowd. Love to see him and just, have him make the cut would be pretty special.
That picture on 18 from his practice round just yesterday was magnificent.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He still got it, it turns out. He still.
No. He draws the crowd. I mean, he's just such an unbelievable figure and has been kind of the face of golf for the last 25, 30 years. It feels 25 years. And, there's a reason. He's an absolute stud on the golf course.
Cool dude, behind the scenes, away from phones, everything. You ever get a chance to be with him around like nobody
I've
else?
never been with him. I've never been around him, never gotten to play golf with him. I know Peyton has a few times and obviously, played that match with him against a few years ago. Got to team up with them. But I guess because of my erratic golf game, I never got the invite.
Hey, you still got that 75 in there, though. I know that
Got it in there.
the 75 is certainly in there. Justin Thomas, like plus 2,500 right now, I think, to win
Good value.
The whole thing. It's huge odds on him. Plus 700, Scotty Scheffler. Also, Rahm, I think, plus 700.
Ooh.
Who hey, they're saying that course is a little different now. It's a little longer. You hear that? That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like for these guys, the length is not the issue. They hit it so far. I mean, Rahm, just absolutely crushes drives, and Justin Thomas, all these guys are hitting it 330. They got to lengthen a little bit. They're still, some of them are the par fives. They just, if they're still hitting, 8 irons into par fives. So we'll see. I don't think it'll change things too much for him.
Hey, that guy we played with, Mike. He's a player. Mike, that guy's a fucking player, Eli.
Mikey's a player. I won't say his last name. I know.
Oh, I did.
You mentioned his full name last time, and got I think he told some people he was on a work trip instead of was on a golf trip, hanging out. All that stuff.
It was work.
People actually watch your show, Pat. I didn't know that. People actually watch it. They hear his full name, and he's like, "Wait, I thought you were working, kind of doing some client stuff." He's like, yeah, Pat's a client."
Yeah, yeah, that's not a bad idea. And by the way, would love that, Mike, if you're listening. Would love that to be the case. How about that one hole we saw him? I might have misremembered it because I had a few cocktails and a few vitamins, and I was. We were real far out from a hole. We're talking like 246 yards away from a hole.
Whoa.
There's somebody up at the hole, okay? Headphones on, blowing the fucking leaves, okay? 250 yards away, though. I mean, a long way away. It's not like, hey, can you get out of the way? This dude says, can we move him? Okay, pauses like a thing. Can we please move this guy? I'm like, there's no fuck. Who is this guy? What are you? Oh, yeah, you're just going to hit that guy, huh? He's fucking, it was like the Happy Gilmore when he's driving out of the back, shouldn't have been standing there type situation. And then he takes his 4-iron, he puts that thing to like 8 feet. I've never been more impressed with an athletic feat than that one right there. Is that how you saw that whole thing go down as well?
Yeah, and you know what? I think the amazing thing is every time I ever wait for someone, I'm like, yeah, I'm too 25 out. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to wait for him to get off the green. You wait like 5 minutes, they get off the green. And then what do? You top it. You always like chunk it. Yeah, you hit it 70 yards. He like did the wait, removed the guy, and then, thank goodness he did. He would have drilled the guy on the green right in the head. So he did it for good reason. Like, he actually truly believed he was going to hit the green, where I'm like, hey, there's a chance I could hit this green if I just totally pure this thing with a three wood, which never happens.
It was remarkable. I've never been more impressed, and I was like, oh, I love this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but I love it. Let's pivot away from golf here, even though you're potentially going to play around this afternoon, and we appreciate you making time. We're in the middle of the draft process right now, and I think all anybody remembers about your draft is whenever you moved from the Chargers to the Giants. If I don't remember, I must have been too young. Going in, were you the solidified number one guy going into that? And did you take trips to teams, or how did that kind of process all work out? Because I think all any of us remember is draft night as opposed to the entire lead up beforehand.
Yeah. I was kind of being told I would be the first pick in the draft, and kind of after my senior year through the combine, through everything, and so did workouts. For San Diego, they came to New Orleans where I did my private workout for them. Went out to Oakland for a trip out there, and then met with the Giants as well. And so those are kind of the three main teams. Arizona was the third pick in there. So those kind of the first four teams were kind of the ones that were that I had discussions with and talked with. And then I got drafted to San Diego, and about 30, 40 minutes later, traded. I was still at Madison Square Garden where the draft was, still there, kind of doing interviews, and during that time got traded to the Giants.
How quickly did that come together, you think, that whole trade thing? Was it draft night that came together, you think?
Yeah, within 30. It happened within 30 minutes, of everything going on. So I guess I don't know why it couldn't happen before that. It would have been a lot easier on me if it kind of happened before. I didn't have to go through the process of answering questions about San Diego and then coming to New York. It would have made my life a little bit easier. But I guess they just basically the Chargers drafted me, and the Giants drafted Phillip Rivers with the fourth pick in the draft, and then we switched, and there's a few other draft picks involved.
That coming together just on draft night is crazy to think about, because it's obviously been remembered forever. Ty talked about this earlier whenever we mentioned you were coming on the show. It's like, not only are you Archie's son and Peyton's little brother coming into the NFL, and Peyton obviously has done his thing, Archie already a legend, but now on draft night, you're the number one overall pick, and you're going to the biggest media market after a trade takes place. You just couldn't, you had to block, how did you... That had to be some heavy shit, right? A lot of pressure, I'd assume, Eli, on the old youngest Manning?
No, there definitely was. But I was excited about coming to New York, and when I had meetings with the Giants, just appreciate the way, they went about their things. There's no cheerleaders. There's no hoopla. It's all about football. They want to create a great football team. They're totally committed. They have a great history, that NFC East, been around a long time, which is such great rivalries between those teams, and so I was excited for that opportunity. I think the fact that I had kind of always been dealing with pressure my whole life, being who I was, 5 years younger than Peyton. This kid, Peyton was Gatorade Player of the Year, number one recruit in high school, up for Heisman trophies, number one pick in the NFL. I was always that little brother, always people kind of looking up to me. So the fact of going to New York or being in that, in that spotlight didn't bother me. I was excited about going to an organization that I knew was totally committed to football and doing whatever possible to try to win some championships.
Peyton never acknowledged all that stuff? Whenever it was all happening, I assume he acknowledged that your world was probably pretty fucking difficult, or did you guys not even address it?
He did. No, he was there. He was there with me in New York for the draft, and he was doing some stuff. So, I saw him beforehand. We had a big dinner the night after, and he just said, hey, whatever you need help with going forward, we're going to be in the same profession. I'm here for you. I'm here for any guidance. He said, although with that New York media, you're kind of on your own. I don't really have any advice on how to handle that. I've never been around it. So good luck there. Let me know if you can help me down the road in dealing with that media, maybe.
You know what I enjoy? I enjoy the fact that they talk about like sibling rivalry, right?
Yeah.
They talk about sibling rivalry. It's whenever kids are kids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a real deal. You two, still, it is a real deal. I know like people try to play it up for TV.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, Eli and Peyton, still competitive. Hey, on that golf course, it felt like there was some real, it's real, isn't it? It is. It's a real deal thing.
Oh, you're on that text chain. I'm not allowed to talk about my birdie putt on 18 to beat them that day because that was in March. It's been a month. You're not allowed to talk birdie putts in a new month. So Peyton made that very clear in that text chain last night. So I don't know if that's a real rule. I've never heard of that rule before. I think he's tired of hearing me talk about it. But that's anyway. I can't mention it on this show. My birdie on 18 beat Peyton after being down 4 on the comeback to win one up on 18. I can't talk about that on the show, Pat.
How long was that putt that we wouldn't be able to talk about? I heard it was a long one.
I don't know. It's like 15, 16 feet. Kind of a little downhill slider. But I can't mention it.
Yeah, how about the drive? The way that whole hole I heard. Now, we can't talk about it. It's gone. It's past. It's a history.
Gone. It's been a month. It's a different. We're in April now. That was in March. Can't talk about it.
18th hole, too, just like to win it, need it, too.
Yeah,
and then the Goat Slayer shows up.
30-footer.
Oh, my God. What a dog, dude. So we can't talk about my double on that hole either. That month ago.
You can talk doubles. You can talk about doubles.
No, that's last month.
Yeah.
That's last month. We got a guy named Bruce Brown who's a diehard Giants fan. He is obviously pushing the Goat Slayer nickname in this particular office heavily. Thinks you've earned it, which we all agree with. But you made his life a lot better. He has a question for you, Eli.
Yeah, thank you for everything, first of all.
Atta baby, Eli.
Yeah, way to go,
Thank you, Eli.
Second, I don't think that the Giants have really had a weapon quite like Darren Waller since Plaxico. What are you excited for Darren Waller bringing to the Giants offense next year? And is there any chance that Chad Powers might get out there during training camp and show Danny how to throw that fade?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't think Chad's not making a comeback. He's I'm done throwing this Chad. Put him in retirement. But
rest in peace, Chad. Hey, let's have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Chad really.
Yeah, it was
Chad.
so hot. It was so hot and all that stuff. I had so much face sweat going on. It was very uncomfortable. But
Rest in peace, Chad Powers.
I like Waller. I think he's a unbelievable athlete, and I think just that tight end position, especially, they already had a bunch of success last year with using tight ends. And so I think, getting him matched up one-on-one, kind of on some mismatches, on safeties, on linebackers, that's what you want. And so I think it should be a great addition, kind of Saquon, tight end, get a good receiver. And also now all of a sudden they've done some work with the offensive line the last few years. Also, you get weapons at every position. That's kind of what you want. And
Hey, are
so
the
I
Giants
think they're
back?
building
Are the
a
Giants
good squad.
back, Eli? Are the Giants back?
I think so. Yeah, I'm on the bandwagon. I always hope. I want them to be. I think it's. I feel like that NFC East is just always. Each year it's like a new team. Hey, who's going to be the best team this year? So it's always back and forth. No one's out of it for too long, and so it's been fun. It's been fun to watch them and the season, make the playoffs, win a playoff game. I think that helps so much with the confidence. And now you're starting to build something, and they're building something great with young players and a good nucleus of guys. So I'm looking forward to another good year.
Danny made himself so much money last year. Were you proud of him watching him at all kind of take place with that day ball offense? Honestly,
I was so happy for Daniel. Got known him a long time, still talk with him, communicate him, and he's done everything the right way. He's done everything they've ever asked him to do. Hey, you're gonna have to run it 12 times today. Sure, I'll run it. I'll throw it. I gotta. He knew he had to cut down on the fumbles and the turnovers. He's done that. He's worked at it. He's been conscious of it. He's a true professional. He's a great leader. Guys respect him, and so I'm excited for him. And I think he'll just continue to grow. He hadn't been in the same offense, for multiple years, and now in the same offense, other guys in the same offense around him, get things going. I think he'll just continue to get stronger and better.
how about the Giants maybe being back?
How about it? Here we go.
Huh? Tomatoes are up for sale, so who knows what that's
Right.
going to look like.
Yeah.
Eagles are good, though.
They're very good.
Eagles are good.
Cowboys.
Big Mike McCarthy's calling plays
Exactly,
now.
yeah.
Oh, Dayball, look out, pal. Pac-Man has a question for you, Eli.
What's up, Eli?
What's up, Pac-Man?
What's going on? Hey, nephew, Archie Manning, is one of the top prospects or the top prospect. How does that go, man? Who giving him the advice? You, your brother, uncle? How's that going with that process?
I think we're just excited for him. He's going, he's already at Texas right now, going through spring ball, and I want to be a resource for him, but I'm never going to be the guy saying, hey, you got to be doing this, you got to be doing that. Some of it you got to learn on the run. You got to just go in there. You got to be a freshman in college, figure things out, figure out your schedule. But whenever we get together, get to see him in the summertime, get to see him at different times throughout the year, and we always kind of set an hour or 30 minutes where we happen to be sitting there, eat lunch and just kind of pick his brain. And I mean, this was when he was in high school, and just see what he knows about coverages or what he knows about just talking ball, talking X's and O's. I forgot what I didn't know much when I was a senior in high school about different coverages and different concepts. Now they're throwing it a lot more in high school, so it'll be fun as he now getting into college. The game is more similar to the NFL and everything going on. Just to be able to talk ball with him and see what he's doing. And so I just try to I send him some text message every once in a while, just different things to think about. But I'm just he's got to go be a freshman in high school, figure things out on himself for a little bit, and obviously he's done really well doing that so far.
We've all lost our student ID. Okay. Get off his ass.
Yeah.
Get off. He's a freshman in college.
Let him live.
What do you want from the guy? Jeez, let the guy live. He's looking good in the tape that they're bringing out from spring ball.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's looking good. It looks like he fits
Yeah.
too, body-wise.
He's a big kid. He's much bigger than I was coming out of high school, and I think he's already put on a bunch of weight. Just getting in the weight room, and just being around there. So it's pretty impressive. He's still a senior in high school, but he's in college, going through spring ball, just giving him learning the offense. So he's committed. He's all in on ball. So it'll be fun. See what happens this year if he gets some playing time or. But I'm looking forward to getting Austin and just rooting them on and just being a fan and watch it from afar.
Austin's a great city. How about the comedy mothership? That seems to be like the new spot for every stand-up comedian on earth. I think Chappelle's done like 3 shows from there. Austin's continuing somehow. Elon, took the spaceships there? He's back out of there, though.
Yep.
So I thought aliens were potentially coming to Austin, Texas.
He moved?
I think he moved. I'm not 100% sure.
Geez.
Archie Manning's there. There's not enough room.
Yeah.
Archie and Eli. You got to do what you got to do. Connor has a question for you, Eli.
Yeah, Eli, you mentioned Peyton kind of saying, you can ask him anything. Were there any moments, like if it was the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship, where you reached out to him? And then also, was there ever any consideration towards the end of your career to maybe move teams like he did with Denver?
So yeah, definitely relied on him for a lot of things. We talked every Friday during the season. We're both kind of on Eastern time. Actually, in Indianapolis, it was a little confusing. Like half the year he was Eastern time, half the year he was Central. I never knew what time it was.
It's a great place.
I'm like, it's 1 o'clock here, so it's like 11:15 there. Is that right? Like no idea. But we'd always talk on Fridays, just kind of a little recap of who we were playing, what was going on, but also just talk about just life. It wasn't all football talk. And then, but definitely before playing some Super Bowls, just because your week completely changed. And so he played one in the 06 season. The very next year we went, and so I just said, hey, how did you prepare for those 2 weeks? Like, what did you do the first week? What did you do the second week? The second week you're in a new city, you're in a hotel. And he was just great about saying, just try to plan ahead and just whatever you've done on Wednesday night for the last 22 weeks, make sure you keep doing that. And whatever you're doing Thursday, just keep that same routine. If you get a workout a certain day, if you go eat with the lineman a certain day, if you get a massage a certain day, just start setting that up right now so you can keep that same routine and just make it as normal as possible.
That thing you said right there in the middle there, you eat with the lineman on this day, like that's such a big deal. And I feel like your whole family, that's like, hey, being a good teammate is a massive part of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. You think that's the old man, or is that just how you guys view football? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think, I think it definitely has something to do with my dad. My dad still keeps in touch with, he has a text chain now of like the freshman class that they all went to Ole Miss together. 1969. And he keeps up with this lineman.
Let's do a Zoom. Let's do a Zoom. Let's do a Zoom.
And those guys were like around. We saw all those guys, so you just saw the connection, the importance of those friendships, and then for me, especially your offensive lineman. It might have been, more just I wanted them to block better. Hey, keep these big guys away from me. I'll take you to dinner. I'll buy you whatever steaks you want. If you get no sacks this week, I'll do it again next week. I promise you. So keep the big boys away. Let me stay back there and have an extra half a second to make some of these throws, and everything will work out.
Hey, you're a great teammate for selfish reasons. It doesn't matter how you go about getting the job done. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Ty has a question for you, Eli.
Eli, by all accounts, the ManningCast has just been a massive success. Like, we all love watching it. Like watching the game is one thing, but hearing you and Peyton chop it up, like if you're a real football fan, it's unbelievable. Has that process, has it been what you expected? Has it reached expectations? Because I don't know. Obviously, I assume that's kind of tough going from playing to just kind of sitting there being comfortable talking about the game. And has there been anything where it's like, oh, this is much more difficult than I thought it would be, whether it be tech or how you guys are doing it? Like how would you say that that experience has been thus far?
I've enjoyed it. I think it keeps me involved in the game of football. I like watching film. I like to, break down, really interesting things and see a cool defense or a cool play that's, you could say it's like, it's not a base play. This is like a very specific play to attack this type of defense and just, kind of be able to point those things out. Just great coaching, great play calling. I get to talk with a lot of the quarterbacks before the games, a couple of the coaches that I know that I've built relationships with over the years. And then, I think we've stayed pretty true to what the original plan was. And we wanted to make it feel like, what it would be like to sit on the couch with Peyton and I and watch a football game. And that's still the idea, where we're going to talk some X's and O's. We're going to make fun of each other. And every once in a while, Pat McAfee just pops in the living room, and we start talking with him, or we start talking to Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop always pops in the living room with Peyton and I when we're watching a game. Growing up, that was just like the norm. And so I think we stayed pretty true to it. It's actually fun, breaking down some film. I'll tell Peyton, hey, I'll watch these games. You can watch those, and we'll trade notes. And I leave Peyton like a 8-minute voice memo with kind of the notes, what I saw. If you want to watch it, these are like 5 plays that are interesting. Peyton leaves me a 43-minute voice memo with the breakdown of the play. I'm like, Peyton, it'd be faster for me just to watch the film on my own than listen to your voice memo and then have to watch the 27 plays that you think I should go rewatch. So it's not really the point of the memo. Like, you got to give me the cliff notes. Don't give me the whole plan.
We're a team here. We're a team.
We're working through that. He started, I think he started realizing I wasn't listening to the whole thing. And so he, in the middle of it, minute 27, he'd be like, hey, Eli, the code word is the gravy was good. And then anyway, Baltimore was playing a cover 2. He'd be like, hey, did you hear anything normal or different on my memo? I'm like, no, everything was great. You really broke down Baltimore.
So mad.
You're not listening to it. You're not listening to my memos. I said the gravy was good, and you would have noticed that. So he busted me.
Awesome. It's real. This is everything you're saying is out of a movie. People would think oh, that's a script to a movie of 2 brothers in the NFL. Yeah. But it's the real. This is better than any script could possibly be. Which is why I think the ManningCast does so well. You're perfect at what you do. Yeah. Peyton, obviously, 43-minute voice. He's in the game pretty much for both teams. Yeah. So him getting pissed off at different moments is great. I think I've been very lucky to be a guest on that show. I speak for a lot of people. It's better when there's no guests.
Yeah.
You two are incredible together. I think that is the only thing that I think a lot of people would say. Watching you guys, even if you feel like you don't have to, don't feel like you have to host. Even when you guys are just both very confused about something that's happening on. Like we all know, like okay,
Peyton does that a lot.
Yeah, but something must be happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but us watching, we're like
time management. Time management is like his biggest pet peeve, or of a bad time management is his biggest pet peeve in the world. So
you guys killed it though. Like you need to know, it's fucking awesome. It's really good. It's
Appreciate
gold.
it.
We enjoy the hell. Last question here from Tone. I know we're eating up a lot of your time.
Eli, obviously you were with Odell during his first years and probably his best years. Still a free agent, rumored to be potentially going to the Jets and partnering with Aaron Rodgers potentially. How do you think that would go? And how do you think Aaron's going to handle the New York media?
Yeah, y'all know Aaron better than I do. I think.
Whoa.
Y'all get to talk with him, and so it'll be interesting. The New York media and some of his antics and everything going on. It'll be different for him. It'll be a lot different than Green Bay, but he's a pro. He's been through it. He's comfortable in his own skin. So I think he'll, if it all kind of plays out and it all works that way, he'll be ready for it. And Odell, obviously tremendous talent. We had great runs, and so hopefully he's back healthy, and want him to get on a good team, stay healthy for a number of years. Kind of he's still extremely talented. So I root for him. I hope he can get back going and just be even 80% of the version that he was is still a top receiver in the NFL right now.
I agree. That doesn't get talked about a lot. Everybody, he's not the same Odell. It's like, maybe not, but like, he's not a
Still
guy.
can be good.
Yeah, he's not a guy still. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. All right, so who you got winning? You got Justin Thomas?
I'm going Justin Thomas. Going JT. Just feel like he's ready.
All right, I'll go. I have a bet on him because it's such big odds.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll go Rom. We'll go 500 to a foundation. All right, deal.
Boom.
We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Enjoy your weekend. You're the best.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, Pat. All right, guys. Be well.
Hey, how about that birdie on 18?
Yeah.
You can't talk about it. You can talk about it. I can't.
Okay, it was great. It was great. Ladies and gentlemen, Eli Manning. All right, let's get to a break. Hey, they get shoot. You see like some shoot.
Yeah, fire.
Oh yeah.
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 When I took that stroke on that par 3,
You supposed to.
hell yeah.
You supposed to.
Bro, I didn't play fucking
fucking pro.
golf, bro. You guys play every week.
If the handicap says to take a stroke on that hole, you got to take a stroke.
That's what I said.
take a stroke.
That's what I said. I said, how hard's this hole? How hard's this hole? And it was like one of the toughest ones. I'm like, so I'm supposed to get a stroke in this hole? Yeah. I'm like, okay. So did you guys create golf or did I mean?
They shouldn't have gave it to you. That's on them. They should not have gave it to you.
Yeah, they can't be mad.
It was a real awkward quiet. Like it was like they were all expecting me to say, hey, I won't take it, because it would have been a push, obviously.
Right.
Because somebody did par me. The guy that Mike that we're talking about.
Mikey.
Right.
Mike did par that thing. So it was it would have been a push. But that's like the fourth hardest hole of that.
Come on, man.
Sorry, Charlie.
That's 3 for 2, pal.
Yeah, what are we talking about here?
We were down 3.
So it's a big one.
That's a big one.
Then we were going into that hole, we were down 2. So we were down 3 the hole before. Peyton drained like a 30-foot putt. Like, nasty. Did a full.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So now we're down 2. Then I take the 3 for 2. Now we're down 1.
Momentum has swung.
Now we are, you know what I mean? It started getting real on that tee box. It was fantastic. And then immediately after that par 3, there was a par 5. And it's a little bit of a dog leg left. Hard
Okay.
one. And that was when that guy fucking
To Mikey.
took out that 4-iron.
Hell yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
He has great clients.
Yeah, he does.
guys, yeah.
Yeah, he's great work, that guy.
Good business.
Great
trip.
pitch.
Great pitch. He got me, and I'll
Yeah,
fucking do business with that
You're
guy.
right on.
Sick.
Yeah.
After I saw him do that with that 4-iron,
I'm in.
Whatever you say.
I don't care what you're doing. I'm in.
I'm on this guy's team.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school? Harvard. Of course.
Okay.
Of course. give me
That
this
works.
guy. You're not supposed to be this good at golf if you went to Harvard. And then there were some other Harvard people there that were incredibly good at golf as well. I said, all these smart fucks are really good at Harvard or really good at golf.
Interesting.
Seems like that is potentially
All
the
the
case.
business is done on the course.
It goes hand in hand.
Oh, what a time. Eli's a G.
Yeah.
Yeah, beast.
Hey, he's a good dude.
Well, there's a lot of Harvard people growing up at country clubs, so a lot of golf.
Yeah, but not all of them are good. I mean,
True.
No.
There's a lot of people that grow up at country club just stink at golf.
No.
What stink though? Like stink to them is like a 10 handicap.
No, I think like there's 15, 16s out there that are like, you know what I mean?
They play every
You
day.
can't hit the ball.
Been around it.
They can't hit the ball. Like some of these nice courses, they can't get to. They got to make the putt. Like if they miss putt, we got bogey. Because some of them don't have the length. But then that guy shows up.
No matter where he's playing.
He fucking came from this world.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's a good.
Very similar. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Eli's a G. He was a great man. Got to walk with him for 4.5 hours there out in the middle of nowhere, Kind of learned some stuff. He was hilarious the entire time. And then he got pissed.
And it was a different Eli?
And that was awesome. Yeah. The things they were saying to him, though, was like, this is a very Eli. A lot of that, Like, I get a lot of those. When I hit a good shot, they're like, Pat! Like, oh! Like a big surprise. Every shot I saw him take was like a pretty good one. They're like, what is this? Like,
what's happening?
People are so pissed almost. Like, the people we were with, like, this ain't you. What are you doing?
Well, that is, if he shot an 88 the day before and you turn around and shoot a 75, it's like, Jesus, what the hell got into this guy?
I don't know. 15-foot little slider there on 18. All right, let's get out of here. Hour 2 will be on the other side. We got Drew Rosenhaus and AJ Hawk. Our TVs aren't working, so I assume the storm is bad. If you're in Indiana, I think you're supposed to, find some cover.
Definitely.
Allegedly. It's very windy outside. We do not know what level of severity or what color the Doppler is. When that fucker starts turning purple, though, that's when you know you're in some real shit.
Yeah, seek sturdy shelter immediately.
I will say that the Thunderdome is seemingly the best place, maybe in the Midwest, to be for a situation like this.
For sure.
Next to no windows at all.
Nope.
None.
And it's like a dome.
Right.
And it's rather low. Pretty high. Pretty high.
But,
Not too high, though.
There's nothing for the wind to catch onto because it's so.
Find a room like the Thunderdome in your house.
Yeah. Right.
What are the crows doing?
Oh.
They got out of here.
Under the tube.
They got out here hours ago.
Okay, good.
You don't think they...
Yeah. Bingo. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I hung around for
Those pros are hanging out down in, Florida right now.
Yep.
Okay, good.
They're probably above.
Stay there.
You think they're above it?
Hey.
How high can those birds get, you think, crows? Because that's like you get on some planes that can get up to 40,000 feet.
Yeah, go above.
That's over all the storms pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's a little thin air. There's some planes that can't get up there. So you're going to be battling against.
Yeah.
When you get on the plane and you're realizing that there's maybe a storm in between where you are and where you're fucking going, and then you Google how high can this plane get, and then you realize, oh, I can't get above this thing. We're going to be in some chop here.
Okay.
We're going to feel like we're going to die over the next hour and a half.
Yep.
And then you get on a plane where it's like, hey, we can get up to 41,000 feet. It's like, oh, thank you.
Smooth sailing.
You're expensive as fuck, I can tell, but this is at least a good hour and a half we have here.
One flight we were next to one. You remember that? And if you looked out the window, you could see
the storm.
Yeah, lightning and everything.
The co-pilot came out. Remember, he was making a bunch of jokes.
Yes.
I hope it doesn't hit the engine, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, we're like, yeah. Just get fucking
Shut
back
up.
up.
Get back up.
We appreciate your confidence.
Right.
They can get to 250 to 3,000 feet.
That's not
That ain't high. They're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they got out.
There's been some funnel clouds that have been pictured onto the internet already. It's dangerous out there, and it's literally you have no clue who's getting what. Nope. Scary game. We'll be here talking dumb shit on the internet next hour with Drew Rosenhaus and AJ Hawk, and covering all the sports stories that are taking place. Shout out to Eli Manning and your phone calls coming in hour 2. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Take 5.
Hello and welcome to the special investigative report. Much has been made in the media world on the life and charitable donations of the man Pat McAfee, especially lately with the rise of the ever-popular Pat McAfee Show, a show that in his own words, stinks. We thought it privy to dive into the inner workings and machinations of this tiny business, this small regional show that has reached international discourse. We sat down with the suit himself, Bruce Brown, to figure out what, where, when, why, and how they're able to give away so much money to the viewers of this incredible program.
So yeah, when you enter a Pat McAfee Show giveaway or win a FanDuel merch picks contest on Sunday, essentially, the entire hashtag will be downloaded into an Excel file, and the winners will be randomized within that. And then we do a quick scumbag check, basically click on the profile and make sure, you know, you aren't a robot or blocked by Pat. And then it'll be transferred over to Dirty Gertie, who creates the Winner Wednesday graphic, which then runs on the show each Wednesday in a commercial break. If you win over $599, we're going to need your email, or you can email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. If it's under $599, all we need is your cash tag. And if you win merch, obviously we need your size, address, and what you want from the store. Usually I'll just reply to you on Twitter. If you have any questions about any giveaway, whether it's cash that you either are waiting on or merch, yeah, you can just reach out to me on Twitter or email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. Please give us about 1 to 2 weeks to sort out your prize. That's typically how long it takes. But again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us.
We reached out to PMI's money man himself, CFO Phil, for an on-camera interview. Regretfully, he declined the segment, but he did give us the salacious, juicy details.
In an email correspondence, CFO Phil replied, $2.6 million year to date. Too much money. There you have it. $2.6 million given away, a pissed off CFO, and a show that quote unquote stinks. Good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Don't break the table, obviously.
I just break shit.
Sorry, man. Somebody came sprinting behind the barrier and tried to spear him.
I fucking dare somebody.
Oh, no!
I dare the next fool.
Ass kicking.
What?
Saudi Arabia.
What?
Riyadh.
What?
Taking a jet plane.
What?
All the way there.
What?
All the way back.
What?
On the way back.
What?
WWE champion.
What?
How you doing?
Hell yeah!
Guys destroyed our shit. The guy
guy that didn't even stop after just deboing your head coach, let's get him the fuck out of the building. I mean, unless he just hates McVay, which we need to maybe look into a little bit more. I'm sure he wouldn't not know that happened. Maybe he was trying to get as far away from it as possible. But whenever he didn't stop, I thought to myself, whoa, are the Rams?
What the hell's going on here?
What's going on with the Rams?
Oh, they're dead.
That's a head coach who just got blown up and nobody even stopped to see if he was okay, aside from a couple coaches. The guy that hit him just keeps on fucking jogging on the field, not even a, oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Not even one of those guys.
He couldn't have known. He couldn't have known it was the head coach.
If that happens on the field, they're pulling Sean into the blue tent. Hey, are you sure you're okay? I mean, you didn't fall, you didn't drop the ball. You just got hit right on the button that we're talking about. Sean McVay eats it, spits it out, puts the headset back on. Thought his commentating career was in jeopardy.
Sure.
He's allegedly been offered $15 to $20 million to go into the booth, which I think we're going to see a lot sooner than later with how this whole Rams thing is going. Bounces back, calls arrested again. Now they lose. They are not good, but he's a tough son of a bitch. I think we all need to start recognizing that a little bit more about McVay.
Can you imagine how fucking sore he is today? He's eating out of a straw for the next week.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Winter Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Hour 2 of this sports program starts now.
Much money!
Much money to all of you, because we had Eli Manning in the first hour for a fantastic conversation. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Great hat you got on there, pal.
Thanks, pal. I appreciate it. I realize now that it has, no correlation to the rest of my outfit, but I think that's why it works.
Oh, look at you.
I was just thinking about that because I see Pac-Man now every day.
He always looks good.
Top to bottom. They're kind of lined up. I mean, he's got the brown and pink everywhere. So now that I'm realizing, maybe I try and step my game up. I won't.
Oh, so Pac-Man has made you a better dresser.
Well, yeah.
Holy hell. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 14-year NFL corner, Pac-Man Jones. This guy's dressed like one of the biggest assholes on the internet for a long time, Pac. What is your problem?
This guy, what'd you guys do?
This is the problem.
Get this guy back
CBD,
down.
one half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here, and joining us live from Manhattan, Ohio, is a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion. Jesus Christ.
This guy.
You're unbelievable.
Where's the cinder
a
block?
Ryder Cup champion, a video game community shit stirrer, a COVID survivor, and a father of 10. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, AJ Hawk. AJ, Pac-Man just took some CBD, it seems like, and he is at the ceiling, but it is very high vibes around here. We got a chance to chat with Eli Manning. AJ, do you know that man?
I do not know Eli personally, but I did want to take the moment to congratulate him again on that birdie on 18. It sounds like it was a magical moment, actually.
It was a huge deal. Hey, it was a huge deal. I was not in that particular, I was not there for it. I only got to experience the aftermath, which was loud and pretty dramatic, I will say.
Volatile.
Just because there was a moment of pride there from old Eli. I think that was they were down 3, I think with like 4 left or something like that.
Ooh.
So I think they went on a complete run.
Did that win it for him, or did that tie it?
Won.
I won it.
That won it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it got real hot. And I think Eli shot a 75 that day. So, I think it was a lot on the back of old Eli there to kind of close it up. Yeah, a little 15-footer. He said a little slider right to left. Not a lot to talk about it. It was a massive piece of conversation immediately after the round, I will say, by all parties on the golf course. Not, you know what I mean?
Okay.
This was one that was far-reaching. So I think that is why one particular party in the group wants it to be. That was last month.
Forget about it.
Let's move along here. But it was a fun time. He seems like a great guy, great football player, AJ.
Yeah, anyone that you ever talked to when he was playing loved Eli. All of his teammates were like, hey, man, like, I know he might not say much in the media and, like, he's whatever they said. He is one of the funniest teammates I've ever been around, and he's always messing around. And obviously the guy brought 2 rings to New York. Okay, so I actually have similar exact breakdown of my interactions with him, because when he does interviews, and with us, I think there was a little, we saw some.
Oh, yeah.
I think we saw some.
Yeah.
When you see the ManningCast, there's moments where he forgets that he's on. Yeah, he's flipping off the camera.
Right when they're going to break. It's usually like little comments to Peyton as they're going to break.
Yeah, and it's like you can kind of get a sense of who he is. Walking around having some drinks with him, and then we kind of took a tour of the course that we were at night, and there was, I don't know, 10 bottles of wine maybe, I think, amongst a pretty large group. And just him, just out of nowhere, we'd be walking, and then something would come from his mouth that I would literally start like crying, and I'm like, Eli, okay, this is awesome. And then he would always like, what? Like it was, he's had to be that guy since high school. He talked about it though. Peyton's 5 years older than him. Like he's always had to probably humble himself, I assume, because of all the things that are being said. And also he was being compared to Peyton as an NFL guy whenever he was still in like high school, So it's like he has a very good sense of the world, I think Eli does, even though he's been in this fairy tale land that is the Manning family creating NFL legends pretty much. But yeah, here's Eli. Hey, baby Eli.
Chill.
Hey, baby Eli. Brock Lesnar threw up a couple of those on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, he did.
Seems like the middle finger might be all the way back. Speaking of the middle finger, Dan Snyder put the middle finger down. Dan Snyder said, you know what, Jeff Bezos, you can give me $6 billion to buy the Washington Commanders. This was allegedly an agreement that was made a couple months back. Jeff Bezos has learned that he is allowed to buy the Washington Commanders, and Dan Snyder would bless him with the Washington Commanders. And Jeff Bezos has explained to Dan Snyder that although he is the owner of the Washington Post, he is not actually in charge of the contents of the Washington Post. And Dan Snyder has come to understand that the investigative reporting and the punditry about how terrible his building has been from the city's biggest paper and one of the national papers, Washington Post, that is owned by Jeff Bezos, isn't necessarily Jeff Bezos writing it or calling people to write it so that he could potentially get in there. Jeff Bezos has not made an official offer for the Commanders, even after learning of this information, if you look at the timeline on it all. What are your thoughts? Bezos is inevitably going to buy the Commanders with Jay-Z and Matthew McConaughey, or Magic Johnson making the plea on the Today Show yesterday about Dan Snyder please blessing us with allowing us to give him $6 billion to buy the Commanders. This is an interesting situation, but it sounds like Dan Snyder will no longer be an NFL owner if all these tea leaves are accurate.
Well, I mean, this is a great situation for Dan Snyder, right? He has multiple people bidding billions and billions of dollars for the team that he owns that he sounds like he did not want to get away from it, but now the money is going to be so much. I would imagine there's a lot of pressure from the other owners and everyone else. So, yeah, I mean, why not? So the bids, though, don't they claim they're blind bids? I would imagine this is going to whoever the highest bidder is, but I know they have to claim it's not.
No, because it was the Bolin Fund or something. It was the this one's for Pat, his family trust or something.
Oh,
so that was the angle where they said we have to take the most amount of money because it's the trust. It's not like that's what they said.
Is it Dan Snyder's decision though to take so why would he not take the highest bidder?
Well, of course. That's what we're thinking. Exactly. But I think there's a chance where people...
Can they push him? Can they lean him one way? Can they nudge him one way or the other, Raj or whoever?
Magic Johnson was on the Today Show saying, if Dan Snyder... Come on, we...
You know why, man? The owners having a meeting. They having their talks between the owners. Hey, who the fuck are you letting in here? Y'all want me? And Frank, it's no black owners right now, buddy, in the NFL.
That's an interesting thing. Is there any? There's none, not even...
Zero. I'm talking about their own straight... Like majority, like what Magic Johnson is doing? No, it's not one.
That was a move by Magic Johnson to go on the Today Show, by the way. Because in the quote, he actually said African and another African-American owner. So there's probably minority owners, we'd assume, that are minorities in the NFL. We would assume that is the case. We do not know every minority owner around the NFL because some of them I don't even think are disclosed. There's some people that have a percentage of a team, 2% of a team, 5% of a team, 10% of a team. Tepper, former minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe Haslam was a former minority owner for the Steelers. Like, there's a lot of different, people that have already done business with the NFL, have a percentage of the NFL that we don't know. But Magic going on there saying, hey, I am certainly in this game. Josh Harris is the lead investor. I'm right there in it next to him. That's a big move by Magic, and maybe it does sway Dan Snyder to make a babyface play towards the end of this whole thing.
Well, don't you think it also looks good? It doesn't look good, but it feels good to have Magic Johnson involved in the NFL. We've seen the businessman that he is. He'll be, We'll get his awesome Twitter, his observations about what happened in the games. Everyone's going to be following along. You wait for those magic tweets. I know they're pretty in depth and amazing. So
they're tackling out here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with
running around the right side, touchdown.
That's the only thing he hasn't been great at. I think in the history of his life.
I think he's great at it.
Yeah, you're right. He's found his niche. His niche. Joining us now is a man who might know about the business of the NFL better than any human in the history. He's negotiated over $7 billion worth of contracts with the NFL. He was the star of a SportsCenter commercial or two. Ladies and gentlemen, still killing the game, Drew Rosenhaus. What's up, man?
Thanks, Pat. And you forgot to mention at one time representing you. That's one of the highlights of my careers, man.
We were talking about that actually in here. I said, I was actually with Drew Rosenhaus for a little bit. Drew Rosenhaus, I have nothing but respect for, always replied to me. What I needed, though, was a little bit different than what was happening, and it was like all good. I think all good literally through the entire thing, and massive respect for you, sir, and everything you've built. You work your ass off out there.
Thank you, Pat. The feeling's mutual, and great to come on with you today. I'm real happy for your success. And one of the things that I enjoy the most about being an agent is seeing when some of your guys, when they're done playing football, go on and do great things. And I'm super proud of been affiliated with your career when you played in the NFL.
Hell yeah, Drew. I appreciate you too, man. Let's dive into the NFL and the business side of the NFL. Obviously, the massive conversation piece right now whenever it comes to negotiating and agents and everything like that is the Lamar Jackson deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the precedent was set, I guess, with Deshaun Watson with his $230 million guaranteed. Before that, Kirk Cousins got like a 3-year, $91 million fully guaranteed. And guaranteed contracts, you know this more than anybody, have been something that have been sought for by players for decades and generations and generations. Do you think this Lamar situation continues with that precedent of guaranteed contracts or ups the percentage of guaranteed contracts? Or how do you think you see it panning out as somebody that is not involved, just your punditry of knowing the business as well as you do?
I wish I was the agent for Lamar Jackson because he's a great football player, and I'm confident I could get a deal worked out for him. Pat, I think guaranteed contracts are amazing. And obviously, as an agent, would love to see all contracts in the NFL fully guaranteed and be more consistent with what we see in Major League Baseball and the NBA. But I don't think you must have, let's say, a 5-year fully guaranteed contract to make it work. What if you did 4 years fully guaranteed at signing and you had the final year guaranteed based on an injury guarantee, or one that becomes fully guaranteed based on performance? There should be a compromise. I, as an agent, learned a long time ago, try to stay away from extremes. Deshaun Watson is a very good contract, but that doesn't mean in order to get a great deal, you have to have the exact deal that Deshaun Watson gets. Maybe you get more money overall than Deshaun Watson. Maybe you get more money than Deshaun Watson in the first year, the second year, the third year, and through 4 years, and maybe the fifth year isn't guaranteed, but you offset that guarantee by getting more money overall in the first 4 years.
Yeah.
There's ways to get deals done, is my point. And Lamar, like any player, has the right to represent himself as the 35-year veteran of this business. I'm confident I could get with the Ravens and their general manager, Eric DaCosta, and work out a deal with Eric. If not that, I'm confident that I could find another team to work out a suitable deal as a franchise player and try and set up a deal for 2 first-round picks.
Drew, aren't you in South Florida, right? Do you know Lamar? Have you ever reached out? How would that work? He would have to reach out to you? How would that whole thing?
No, he doesn't have an agent. We've reached out a couple times. He hasn't expressed an interest in hiring us. I'm right in his backyard. He's a South Florida guy, so am I. Lamar, if you watch this great show,
thank you.
Consider this to be an invitation to hire me. We'll work it out. I'll get you signed, and you'll be a very happy man if you do.
Hell yeah, there's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake here. You know, and the NFL has been doing business one particular way for a long time. You've been doing it for 35 years. You also know other situations. I'm not saying that Lamar won't be able to negotiate his own deal. I'm somebody that I've negotiated my own deals Hundreds of millions of dollars. I've negotiated my own deals. But there's some places where you're negotiating with, it's like, I'm not the right person to be representing me in this conversation. This might be one of them, and you are the perfect human to potentially get in there. What are your thoughts? And I'm sorry, AJ, I know you had some. Mulugeta, you got to have respect for him, right? He's like the next Drew Rosenhaus almost.
Well, yeah, I think David Mulugeta's done a nice job in his career, and he's one of the agents that's made a great impact, and certainly he can be proud of his work on the Deshaun Watson contract. And I respect a lot of agents. It's not like I'm the only agent that could find a deal for Lamar. I just wish he had someone that was a professional that does this for a living. I can't, there's no way I could go play in the NFL. I get that. I'm not even close to that. Never could. But I'm a very good agent. That's what I do for a living. And I'm confident, based on my 35 years of experience and all the people that I know and the ability to find ways to get deals done, there isn't just one way to get a deal done. You can structure deals differently. You can structure guarantees differently. You can have signing bonuses and front-load contracts. You could create voidable years. You could do a shorter term, maybe a 2-year deal. There's a lot of ways around this. I just, I'd love to have a shot at getting Lamar signed.
Okay, well, good luck out there, Drew. We're all pulling for you.
We'll get it done.
Because we want Lamar to get a couple $100 million. He's earned it. He's deserved it. I hope it happens. Go ahead, AJ.
Drew, what were your initial thoughts when you first read through Deshaun Watson's contract when he signed that with Mulugeta as his agent? And did you have any idea at the time, like, the impact it would have on the rest of the league?
Well, I was very excited, obviously, because I think he set a precedent, Deshaun Watson, that for any top quarterback, it's obviously a wonderful deal, and it's one that the top quarterback should all shoot for. And one of your great guests, Aaron Rodgers, he's been a master in his representation at getting great deals, and he's the guy that should be making somewhere around $50 million ultimately this year when he's a New York Jet. I'm sure that's going to happen. You would know better than me. But I thought the Watson deal was a game changer for quarterbacks, just like I thought the deal we did for Tyreek Hill was a game changer for wide receivers.
Yeah. That changed the whole world.
It was a big one. We guaranteed the first 3 years of his contract signing, and he became the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, regardless of position. I think it helps. When you see deals like Tyreek's, Deshaun Watson, it's just another ladder for other great players to sign and to climb and get better deals. And I admire Lamar for going for it. I just would love to see him align himself with people that could help him make the most of this opportunity.
Hey, Drew.
It only comes once.
Hey, Drew. So, whenever we think about Lamar representing himself, okay, and this is if Lamar gets a chance to see this, which I'm not assuming he is, but if he does get to see it, I think Lamar has the idea, and this is as somebody who has negotiated for myself in a lot of situations. He thinks to himself, I know what my number should be. I know that I could potentially talk my way to that number if I was given the opportunity to discuss what I owe, what I'm owed, what I should get. I could give some stuff up. There's a lot of people that are very street smart and savvy whenever it comes to that type of stuff that are also players. So I respect whenever guys want to do their own business. I do it. But with that being said, there is something to what you just having a conversation in a relationship with everybody in the fucking NFL and knowing what situations are potentially available and being able to reach out to them and say, hey, this could happen. Is it all just your network, the way you deliver a message? What is it you think that makes a good agent a good agent?
Well, certainly I understand Lamar's logic is saying, hey, I'm a better player than Deshaun Watson and, I don't have the baggage off the field and I should get a better deal than he got. It's just not that simple. And, when we approached the Chiefs last year about making Tyreek Hill the highest paid wide receiver in the game, it wasn't that simple for them either because they had Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones and a lot of other great players, and they couldn't make that work. And so they gave me the opportunity to shop for a trade with Tyreek. And ultimately we found a first-round pick, multiple Day 2 picks, and it was a bonanza for the Chiefs, and it was a great deal for the Dolphins. Everybody won. Tyreek got He had one of the great years ever for a wide receiver, and the Chiefs landed a bunch of picks they could use to build on defense that helped them win a championship again. So that's what I'm talking about. The ability as a veteran agent to talk to 31 other teams and try and find a sweet spot. One team out there has got to agree with me that Lamar Jackson is a franchise quarterback that can turn their team around and help them get to a Super Bowl. I think he's a Super Bowl caliber player. He's an MVP type of guy. He's a generational talent. There's got to be a deal out there with the Ravens or with some other team. Obviously as an agent, you dream of the opportunity to work with guys like Tyreek and guys like Lamar Jackson, and that's what I live for. Guys like Jalen Carter and so many of the other clients that we had. This year we had two guys in free agency, Pat, that got the two biggest deals in free agency. Javon Hargrave, who went from the Eagles to the Niners, and Juwan Taylor, who went from the Jaguars to the Chiefs. I love those kind of contract negotiations. I'm ready, Lamar. If you're watching, hit me back.
Okay, Drew, hold on, Drew. So, whenever the Chiefs and the Dolphins deal happens for Tyreek Hill, you go to the Dolphins. Obviously, you have a relationship with all teams. The Miami Dolphins, I assume, is no different because it is your backyard. I think I've seen you at a lot of games down there when other clients are playing against the Dolphins. You're in there talking because it is your home or whatever. So the Miami Dolphins say, oh, we like Tyreek Hill. We think we'd give up this and this. Do you tell them that isn't going to be enough for the Chiefs? Are you negotiating for the Chiefs with the Dolphins until there's a real presentation that you think you get a deal done? Or do you let the Dolphins make the pitch and then you kind of let them figure it out from there? How hands-on are you whenever it comes to compensation? Because allegedly what the Ravens can get for Lamar you'd assume would be pretty good, but there's really no leverage right now because there's no teams allegedly involved.
The Dolphins have a great GM in Chris Greer, and the Chiefs have a world-class GM in Brett Veach. But I was a conduit between the two, and there were times when Brett was stuck on what he wanted, and there were times when Chris maxed out what he was willing to give, and I was the guy that could bounce different ideas off of both of them. And obviously they agreed to the deal, but I knew what they both were looking for, and I was able to encourage both sides to find a compromise. So
that's what we need.
They don't need my help.
That's what you need. That's what you need, though. And you need somebody kind of poking the bushes on. You know what I mean? Hey, let's go ahead and get them out there. Let's go ahead and do this. That is what you need.
That's what I did.
Yeah, well, that's incredible.
No doubt about it. And just be relentless. I think there were times when that deal was dead, and the Chiefs maybe moved on, and they were focused on the Jets, or the Dolphins didn't think that they could get it done, and I just stayed with it and was able to make it happen. And obviously that's the key to getting any deal done for your clients. And both of you guys had awesome NFL careers and had, made the most of your opportunities contractually. You need agents that, in many respects can keep a deal alive and can get it over the hump, can get it over the goal line, can make it home.
It's funny
bring it home, baby.
Agents are, kind of described as these robotic figures, I think people think. But really, you have to be the most... Yes. You have to be in with everybody. Hey, you got to have everybody like you. Now, obviously, they're going to start out liking you because you have an asset that they want. So you're going in on a good front. But if everybody likes you and gets along, you can go come on. You can give them a little bit more there, don't you think? This is what we're talking about. And that's a big part of getting a deal done for people to meet in the middle and then bang. Okay, I just got $7 billion worth of deals done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible thing. We hope Lamar Jackson's listening. Pac-Man has a question for you, Drew.
What's up, Drew?
Sure. Hey, Pac-Man, how are you?
That's my man right there. We had a lot of great conversations together. Hey, Drew, hopefully Lamar is listening to this, right? I want to ask you a question. This is going to be rapid fire, right? All right, I want you to name 10 GMs that you know right now.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Very easy. I know all 32.
Just give me 10 of them.
Let's go in the AFC East. The Dolphins, Chris Greer. The Jets, Joe Douglas. Brandon Beane, the Buffalo Bills. The Patriots, Bill Belichick is really the GM, but he does lean on Matt Groh and Elliott Wolf. In the AFC Central, you've got Omar Khan with the Steelers, Duke Tobin with the Bengals, Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, Baltimore Ravens, Eric DeCosta. Is that good enough for you?
That's good, Drew. And I hope Lamar listens to this because I'm quite sure he only know one or two. And maybe the other two that he met at the fucking combine. My whole point about this
Pac-Man, obviously, I know all 32 GMs extremely well. I talk to them on a regular basis, have their cell numbers, call. text them. I feel like I get along well with all of them. Many of the owners I deal with. Many of the head coaches I deal with. A lot of the deals that I get done, I go to the head coach, like and Andy Reid, for example, is very integral and involved. It's important that as an agent, you know the organization. If you name the organization, I'll tell you who are the key components to get it done. In Philadelphia, it's Howie Roseman, for example. But Nick Sirianni's got a lot of pull with the success that he's had. If you're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, it's a two-headed monster with Brett Veach and Andy Reid. If you're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin's got a lot of influence with Omar Khan, the new GM.
Okay, my point was that you have a lot of relationship that Lamar does not have. If you was the agent, I'm quite sure that you can go and try to pitch deals before the tag part probably came, right?
Absolutely.
So
you should avoid the franchise tag.
Right. So if you was the agent, do you think you could have got this done before that? And second of all, if he was listening to this, how much would you charge him? Would it be 3%?
Oh, no, it's got to be 2, 1.5, maybe 1.5.
I got to ask for the number.
It's got to be down there.
Let me say this. Number one, my fee would be negotiable for Lamar.
Hey, there's what. Hey, Lamar. Lamar, you're doing the business, Lamar. There you are. You're hiring somebody to negotiate.
It would definitely be negotiable, right? I'd have some flexibility. That's number one. Number two, what I believe is I would have gotten a deal done with the Ravens before he would have gotten franchise tag, because I think that the Ravens are very motivated to sign him. I know for a fact that they appreciate how great he is, and I'm confident we would have found a sweet spot to get it done. With that being said, let's just say you got the Indianapolis Colts out there, and they've got a new head coach, Shane Steichen, who was the offensive coordinator from the Eagles. They need a quarterback. You got Chris Ballard, who's a great GM, and you've got an owner in Jim Irsay. Pat knows him very well. Pat was the Colt. Irsay wants to win. Say what you will about him. He wants to win. So I get on the phone with Chris Ballard right now, and I'd say, Chris, you've tried. You've gone all out for guys like Wentz. You've made moves for Matt Ryan. You got nailed when Luck retired early on. Let's make it happen for Lamar Jackson. 2 first-round picks. Forget about it. This year, you've got the 4th pick. You're going to gamble on Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. They're very talented guys, but we don't know what they can do in the NFL. My opinion is give up that first-round pick. Next year's first-round pick with Lamar Jackson's going to be a late first-rounder anyway, because you're going to be a playoff team with him.
Give up pick 32.
Get this deal done. This will turn this franchise around. Let's go, Chris.
Wow.
Hell yeah. And then you call, and if he, you then text me and say, like, hey, Chris is saying it can't happen. I'm like, cool. Let me text Jim. I'll text Jim. Not that you don't have a relationship with Jim, and it's like, hey, you know what? I'll negotiate my fee as well. You know what I mean? I'll negotiate my fee in this entire thing. But is Jim involved in that stuff, or is it mostly Chris? Chris is obviously highly respected by everybody and Jim Irsay. But is this something with a quarterback at that level Jim would have to be involved, I'd assume?
I would say in dealing with the Colts over the years, I have not dealt much with Jim Irsay. I've dealt entirely with Chris Ballard. Ballard's got a real good team around him, good executives. They've got an assistant GM and Ed Dodds. So they're a deep front office. But let's face it, Irsay, he's very hands-on. We all saw that with Jeff Saturday's hiring last year. But I do think there are many teams out there like the Colts where Lamar Jackson would be a huge upgrade and would make a ton of sense.
And sell a lot of tickets, Drew.
Yep. Yeah. Jerseys.
No doubt. And listen, I'll say this. I'm pretty confident that Eric DeCosta, whatever deal I could get from another team, I'm pretty sure Eric DeCosta is going to stamp that deal and say, we'll match it. I don't think they're letting Lamar go.
Okay.
I expect Lamar to be a Raven, but it sure would be nice to get out there and negotiate that contract and get a deal done. And I think the Ravens would match it, in my opinion. End of the story. Everybody wins.
Okay. So maybe they fixed the facility a little bit, too. And then they were trying to get OBJ, we heard.
Yep.
They were trying to get, like, T.Y. Hilton a couple of years back.
Yep.
They were trying to get Darius Slay just a couple of weeks ago. Yep. They were trying to get, seems like the Ravens have always, tried to get in there. You handle Lamar, hopefully you'll be able to handle everything else. You had 2 guys get traded these last couple of weeks. How's that work? Darren Waller just signed a deal. Hey, he just signed a deal, and he's a guy. And we were just talking with Eli Manning, and Bruce Brown asked the question, who's a diehard Giants fan. Eli, he said, it feels like Darren Waller's the best weapon we've had since Plexico Burress, maybe. Like, that's an immediate upgrade for the Giants or whatever. But he just gets married in Vegas. Was the wedding thing a part of it? And how long had that been brewing? And how easy of a deal is that to make whenever Darren Waller's potentially available to the rest of the NFL?
So you're right. We had 2 clients that were traded this offseason in very high-profile trades. DJ Moore went from the Panthers to the Bears as part of the trade for the number 1 overall pick. And Darren Waller was traded from the Raiders to the Giants for a 3rd-round pick. We'll talk first about Darren's deal. The Raiders were in negotiations last year to trade Darren. Darren was very nearly traded last offseason. And so that relationship...
To who?
Well, I think the Packers and the Dolphins were very interested in Darren at that time.
You think?
But the trade didn't happen. The Raiders pulled back, I think, right before those deals could get done. Now, with that being said, Pat, Darren did sign a contract last offseason, right before the season started, correct myself, where he became the highest paid tight end. So much respect to the Raiders for doing that. Darren had 2 years left on his deal, and they made him the highest paid tight end in NFL history.
After shopping him. That's a good deal, hey, Drew.
Yeah.
That's not an easy
it
deal.
worked out. Yeah. But I never thought the fit was great. I never thought the relationship was great. Once you start looking at trades and moving a guy. So Darren was open to the trade. He loved the idea of going to play with Daniel Jones, who is an up-and-coming quarterback. Darren's a real aspiring guy off the field, really talented, a musician. He's got his own podcast called Comeback Stories. So he loves going to the Big Apple. He'll be a big sensation there. And I think he'll enjoy playing for Daboll, who is the former tight end coach who coached our guy Gronkowski in New England. Daboll does great things with tight ends. So I love that trade. DJ Moore's trade was an example of, by no means did the Panthers want to trade DJ, but the Bears were smart. They knew the Panthers really wanted to draft a quarterback. They were insistent on getting DJ as part of that package, and they landed a number 1 wide receiver for Justin Fields. Great trade for the Bears. The Panthers feel like it's a great trade for them. Time will tell. Depends how good C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young is if they happen to pick one of those 2 guys.
Okay, so DJ doesn't mind when you call him and tell him he's getting traded, or do you know before him? Who knows? How's that whole thing go?
Pat, it happened very quickly. We found out at the same time. The Panthers were in tears, literally, when they called DJ. It was emotional for them. DJ was fine with it because, when a team trades for you, they invest capital in you. And that means you're more valuable. That means you're going to get a new contract sooner. That means you're more likely to have a greater career with the team that trades for you. So it's always a good thing from a business standpoint when you do get traded because someone is investing draft picks in you and capital, and that's a bonus. Emotionally, it's hard for a guy like DJ who was drafted in the 1st round by the Panthers, has a home there, his family's there, loves it there.
Human.
But you understand the business component. Yeah. Trades aren't easy, but you have to embrace them because they can be for the better.
Yeah, it's like you get drafted again. It's like you get drafted again almost, the way you said, like they're invested in you. It's almost like a new draft day. Like, hey, you're a guy that is now a 1st rounder yet again for this new team. You're not only going to be given every opportunity, which he deserves, but also they're going to like, hey, we invested. Let's make this work however we possibly can. So professionally,
and we've canceled trades before, Pat. Rob Gronkowski was traded to the Lions. He said to me, Drew, I don't want to leave New England. We went and met with Belichick. We talked to the Lions. At the time, the GM was Bob Quinn. The head coach then was Matt Patricia. We told him honestly, Rob didn't want to leave New England, and we worked a deal out with New England. The deal was over. No trade. Antonio Brown was traded to the Buffalo Bills and from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Antonio did not want to play for the Bills. Instead, he wanted to go to the Raiders, and ultimately we worked out a deal with the Raiders, and we nixed the deal with the Bills. This was before Josh Allen came of age. So you can shut down a trade as an agent and a player if your client doesn't embrace it. Both Darren and DJ embraced those trades, and we supported it from a representation standpoint.
Hell yeah, Drew. A couple more questions for you here from the boys. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Drew, you mentioned Jalen Carter, and it was reported yesterday or the day before that he's not taking any visits outside the top 10. How's that decision get made? And then also, is there no thought of like a team that's maybe at like 13, 14 that would possibly trade up for him?
I can't believe people are thinking for a second that I'm not aware that teams can trade up. Give me a break. Like, some people have come out and said, why would I do this? Teams could trade up.
Yeah.
No, duh. Don't you think I've had 100 teams trade up to take our guys in the draft? I just didn't start becoming an agent. So what I did, there were teams that wanted to bring Jalen in outside of the top 10, and I called those GMs, and I said, are you thinking about trading up for my client? If you are, we'll follow up with the visit. We'll keep it going.
Got it.
And the GMs were honest with me and saying, no, we don't think we can get up there. So I said, quite honestly, I don't want to wear my client out going to visit teams that you're not going to be able to get him.
Yeah.
I know he's going in the top 10. Teams in the top 10 have said to me, and I'm not going to identify those teams, obviously, but top 10 teams have said, we're taking your guy if he's there. Why would I send Jalen to go meet a team, travel, rehash all of the difficult offseason that he's had to go through, and put him through that when that team's not going to get him? But of course I talked to the team about the possibility of trading up, and I went one step further. I told those teams, look, if you want to come to Orlando and come meet with Jalen, he doesn't have to travel and go all over the country because he's already got 6 visits. From the West Coast to the East Coast, from the South to the North, I'm trying to protect my client. These guys aren't pieces of meat that just are shipped all over the place. They're human beings. They've got lives. They're not just objects and robots to be all over the place and prodded and poked. I'm here to protect these guys.
Hell yeah, Drew. Hell yeah. That was a great answer.
Say they can come see him. And if they want him bad enough, they'll come see him. So believe me, I was very thorough, and every GM that we canceled the visit was respectful and understood that it made sense. Please don't think that I'm just ignoring the possibility of trades up. Last year we had Chris Olave, who was the 11th pick. The team that drafted him were the Saints. They traded up to get him. Chris didn't go visit them, and they still traded up to get him.
You don't know what you're talking about, Drew. Shut up.
Yeah, you don't know.
AJ has something for you. That was awesome.
Drew, I want to ask you about recruiting clients. How is that different now than it was before? And like, are the rules different? Can you sign high school kids in some states? Can you go after college guys? How's it work?
It's absolutely different, AJ, because the NIL. You guys would have killed it in the NIL days.
Yeah. Wouldn't have made the NFL.
A lot of money. But so now we can start. We can sign guys out of high school in some states like California. We can't yet in Florida, which is ridiculous. It should be uniform in every state. Guys should be able to get NIL deals, in my opinion. We can start early. We can sign incoming freshmen, for example. So it's very different now. We used to sign guys that were juniors or seniors and go right to work in the NFL draft. Now we're going to help these guys out really when they first get to college. And I love it because I'm glad to help them make some money. I'm glad to work on endorsement deals. It's about time college guys got paid.
Sorry to cut you off. Do you do transfer portal stuff? Your clients will come to you and say, help me get to another school?
Absolutely. I'm involved with that 100%.
Oh.
If a guy needs my help, I'm more than happy to talk to teams about the best opportunities and even talk about the economics. Hey, college football is professional football now. Yeah. Let's not make any mistake. Guys like
you're just dropping right in? Now. Hey, Drew, hold on. So college football now just is getting the Drew Rosenhaus experience right now all of a sudden? Is that real?
You know it, man.
Are you behind
it right now?
Are you behind the 8 ball or do you feel like you've picked it up pretty quickly because the relationships, obviously the players, especially being down in South Florida, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a factory down there of dogs. I mean, just absolute dogs coming out of South Florida. But like, the college though, like the college scene, did you have to catch up? Was it quick? And how? That's a great call, AJ. Guys going into transfer portal and you being like, hey, listen, we got a guy. He's obviously this. That's a whole new game that I didn't even think about.
It is, yeah. We're in the heart of it, and we love it, and we're glad we picked it right up, and it was pretty seamless. And it's not like we're doing it for as many players in college as we are in the NFL, obviously. But I love helping young men and women, and it'd be my pleasure to help anybody that needs me in that circumstance. And so I'm now making an impact in college sports.
I'm worried that there's going to be a lot of shit deals that guys are going to sign just because there's new deals, Like, I'm happy to hear that you're potentially getting involved in that, because my first thing, and they were talking about, I was on game day this year. Very lucky to be on College game day this year. As the NIL thing's happening, very lucky to be there. It's a pivotal time in that whole thing. I obviously run my own digital media, social media business. So like NIL sponsorships and shit like that, I'm all about. Love players making money. But I think there's also a lot of terrible deals that have been presented to me at this stage. Like where I am right now, already doing hundreds of millions of dollars in business. Like there's people that come to me with terrible deals. And it's like, if I was an 18-year-old, and who would I have to rely on? Tim McAfee? So Tim McAfee and Sally McAfee are the people that I'm going to ask, hey, is this a good deal? Yeah, you're getting 1,000? Yes, this is a good deal. Like, I think there's a lot of that potentially that could take place. So I wanted, like, I think everybody was like, we need some guardrails on this. And they're like, well, when you say guardrails, you're saying that you don't want players paid? It's like, no, I would like players not to get fucked like that. I'm coming from a much different standpoint, so I'm happy to hear that you're diving in there because you're probably going to save a lot of people from a lot of terrible deals that some person thinks that they can kind of prey upon, like some of these young people that don't know business as well. So I'm happy you're doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, in all levels of representation, it's nice to have experienced people that can help you, and I think this will be one of the positives. You'll see more and more top agents getting involved in helping college players with NIL deals. And if you want to be a successful agent in the NFL or basketball or Major League Baseball, you better work in NIL because otherwise you're not going to get to these guys. They're going to have agents now. They're of signing these guys when they're graduating or they're juniors. That ship sailed. We have to get to work earlier. So you got to roll up your sleeves in this business and get to work, guys.
Yeah, and you do that. Last question here from Ty. We appreciate you.
Drew, obviously your job is to get your client in the best position available and get him the most money. But like when you look at like a free agency and let's say like the market is a little bit down, how difficult is it kind of managing and setting expectations for guys when you maybe know like, hey, yeah, you're worth this amount, you believe you've earned this amount, but the market just dictates that you're not going to get this amount. Like, how difficult is that process?
It's really hard. I mean, I mentioned guys like Javon Hargrave and Juwan Taylor where the market was awesome for them, and we exceeded expectations. But we also have guys in free agency where the market isn't what you think it's going to be, and you have to make the best of it. And I was hoping the wide receiver market would be stronger this year, and it wasn't. And we had to make some tough decisions for guys like Jacoby Myers, and we still wound up getting a great deal for him with the Raiders, but you just have to be honest with your clients. You have to tell them it's sometimes not what you think your value is, not what you think the market should be, but what the market really is. What are teams willing to pay you? That's the reality. It's not what we think we're worth. It's what is someone willing to pay you, and the sooner you can accept that, the better deal you're going to get.
That's in all business, by the way. Your value is what somebody's willing to pay. That's why when a deal gets done, it's like somebody had to put their money where their actual mouth was. So anytime you get a deal done, you should celebrate, you should enjoy it, and you've had a shit ton of them. Good luck with everything, Drew. What's next? The draft, obviously. Who do you got?
We got the draft. Still have a lot of free agents. Obviously, college recruiting and NILs year-round, and love this business, man.
How old are you, Drew?
Look for me. I'm 56 years old. I've got 4 kids now, Pat.
Holy shit.
4 kids.
Whoa.
Drew.
7, 4, 2, and I just had another son 1 month ago.
Congratulations. Happy birthday to the new son. You're still killing it, man. We're incredibly proud of you. You're an inspiration.
Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Rosenhaus. He and I talked every day for like 2 months straight whenever he was on it, dude.
Yeah.
He was fucking on it. There was a couple times early where I was like, oh, this has to be somebody else. So I just called. Like, as soon as the text came, call. Pat, what's up? You know, it's like, and meet, I'm like, holy shit, this is
That's
actually
working.
you.
It's true.
It's like, yeah, that's a part of his thing. Like, he's always working and always networking. He was just like a punter, my max salary. You know, 3% is the max you can get as an NFL agent on an NFL salary. So 3% of a punter's contract is, you know, a bit different than 3% of a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive lineman, defensive end, corner, safety, nickel, linebacker, kicker even, you know. So, like, I appreciated the amount of time that he spent, but, like, his whole team, like, doesn't have enough time to potentially, you know, like, do marketing for a punter in Indianapolis. Like, hey, Drew, I think we need to do this. Like, this would be cool. He goes, all right, I'll hit you up with the guy. And that guy has, you know, like, probably a couple $1 million deal he's working out with Gronkowski and then everybody else that they had going on. I'm like, hey, listen, for both parties, this has been fun. I'm just going to go do my own shit. He's always been a good guy to me. $7 billion.
A lot of deals.
How about him? I did not expect him to come in and just say, hey, Lamar, come on.
I've reached out. He's reached out to him.
Makes sense.
It was good. It was a good play by Drew, especially if it ended up working out.
If you take anything, watch that if you want to see, like, anyone's thinking about signing with Drew. Like, that dude, he loves his clients, and he absolutely takes care of his guys, like his people. That's what you can tell. That's what an agent should be.
I agree. That's why I almost went with Drew. I stayed with the guy that I was with, but I like Drew. I think he's really good for the players. He listened, which is a big thing that some agents don't do. It's I know how to go up this, how to do, but as you can see, he does a great job of listening to the players and trying to get what the players want. My whole big thing I took out of that was these agents have the tools and the Rolodex to get these deals done before the deadline. So they already know, all right, you're going to get franchised in certain date. A month before that, they already know. And when you represent yourself, you don't have the same Rolodex.
There's no way Lamar could know the same amount of people that Drew Rosenhaus knows.
No.
Just strictly because the amount of time.
And would Lamar, like, does a player want to sit there and call 30 teams? Be like, hey, man, you guys got any good, you guys think about bringing me in?
So there's a lot of people talking about our next step, what's going to happen up to something season happening. And it's like, I've been as transparent as possible with this. Like, yo, I want to take bullshit out of my life. Like, I want the little things that we kind of have to handle. And
You delegate.
Boom. Like, I don't want to have to do it anymore, especially with my baby girl coming. You know what I mean? Like, pretty soon, like, that type of stuff that agents have to do. The conversations that have to happen, like in the morning. Hey, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Like, have a good one. Like, that is working. Like, that is a part of the working, while just making this person know that, hey, I'm a human. I'm here. I'm present for the conversation. Have a good morning. Like, even if you're not negotiating, it's like always at a happy hour, pretty much. Always at a happy hour, like trying to do the whole thing. And when you're talking about another player, also, you know, this thing's potentially happening if you guys get you get potentially interested. Oh, really? Let's start talking about that. Okay. Then bang, good morning, Brandon Bean from the Buffalo Bill. How are you doing, man? Oh, all is good. You guys have any thoughts about maybe like adding a linebacker or tight end or anything like that? We actually have had some thoughts. Okay, good. You got time for a call this afternoon? Bang, yes. All right, sounds good. Bang. Hey, Omar, call on at the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys thinking about doing anything into your linebacker position or anything like that? Yeah, actually, we're thinking about moving a guy. Boom, perfect. You have time for a call late afternoon? Yes, bang. And then, like, by the end of a 4-hour period where the player was potentially not doing that. Why? Because it's their off season. They have a life. Like, a lot has just happened. Like, a lot has just happened.
Every day. That's every day of Drew's life right there.
Every day, 7 days a week, just trying.
Teams call him. I promise you, it's not only him reaching out. They're calling him, too, to try to facilitate deals. Hey, is this possible? You think we could do this? What are you guys thinking here? Like, yeah, it's all those relationships like Pac talks about. He built up over the years, and these front offices not only enjoy probably dealing with Drew, they know it's going to be a tough negotiation, but they respect him. As long as they respect you respect both sides, like, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, he said he was able to nix a deal with the Bills and with the Lions or whatever. But he said Brandon Bean was one of the first people he said whenever he said, who do you know of? So, like, Brandon Bean and he have had to have terrible conversations. Like, hey, by the way, we ain't doing this deal. I'm sorry about it. But the next morning, good morning, Brandon Bean. Hope everything is good, you know. And Brandon said the same thing back, while also monitoring narratives about your client so that you can send to insiders and be like, hey, actually, this is not story, this is a story. Not lying to you, but this has not been talked about if you would like to do it. It's just like a constant juggling of relationships with people that are very important and have their own agendas, but that's like a part of the job. That's so much bullshit that a lot of people do not want to deal with, and that's why agents are special. Good ones are.
And you've talked about it before, like the ability to have that buffer where if you have a guy who, like Rosenhaus, who genuinely seems like he cares about his clients, like if the Ravens offer something to Lamar, he can immediately just be like, nope, that's going to piss him off. Like this isn't going to get it done. Whereas if you're negotiating for yourself and you're not necessarily used to doing this, you get that first offer that's not good enough and it's like, nope, we're already at the point of no return. You disrespected me. I don't want to do that. If you have a guy who can take that away, like you can see how things could probably get done a lot easier.
Yeah, because there's been a couple negotiations I've been a part of that I've been doing, and the other person said something, and I immediately said, okay, not fucking doing anything with these people.
Sure.
And that probably never makes its way to me if there was a buffer. So there's a gift and a curse to doing your own business. But whenever you're doing business in one that's very old, like they have a way of going about doing things, and it's like all of us are just saying this as people that are fans of Lamar.
Yeah.
We are only fans.
Want what's best.
We are fans, and we want you to get a couple $100 million from playing football that you have earned and deserved, and not be caught in this purgatory that could happen another season next year.
Exactly.
This could happen this could be 2 more years of this happening. Who knows what happens on a football field? Not that we're wishing anything, but actually, who the fuck knows with all of it? It's like, I'm happy Drew Rosenhaus said, like, I mean, that's why he came on the show, it feels like. It feels like why he came on the show. Appreciate that he did, but we're all on his side.
Yeah, I just want him to get a contract done because you know how this game goes. It's called What Have You Done For Me Lately? So you say fuck around and play this year, you play like shit. They go, whatever it is, 7-10 or 7-11, and things don't pan out like it should
9-80.
Yeah.
Then we're not even talking about 100 and nothing.
And it's not that's out of his control. It could be team reasons. There's a new offense coordinator. Who knows if this guy knows what the fucking NFL football looks like? Like there is, hey,
man,
time is now.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Drew presented multiple different options, 10 different possible ways you could try to figure things out. Like imagine that dude just brainstorming like, okay, you guys don't like that? Here we go. He has 1,000 ideas.
Also, the way he frames it to Lamar, like, hey, you're getting more money than Deshaun here. Like that.
Hit free agency again. You're going to be free. You're going to be up again when the salary cap goes up. Here we go. Let's go. We're going to go get another one of these deals even bigger.
How you frame the deal to Lamar. So he's like, okay, he can sleep by accepting the deal. Because I do appreciate Lamar's business history. He's like, no, I'm not fucking getting bitched around here. Like, yo, this is what I owe. So like to potentially change the thought, like, no, you're winning here. Hey, this deal is a better deal than what that deal was.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to get another bite at the apple in a couple of years. Like that's a part of the whole thing. We hope it gets figured out. We assume it will. Go ahead.
And Rosenhaus saying that at the end of the day, because he knows DaCosta, like someone's going to offer a deal and DaCosta's just going to say, okay, cool, that's the deal, and he's going to pay it.
Yes.
That's what he said. So no teams. It makes sense why there hasn't been teams reaching out if all those teams know how Eric DaCosta operates and they all know.
Lamar would have to accept it though too. That's a whole nother animal in this whole thing that I guess we should have asked about. Tone, last thoughts on this before we get to a break, before George Kittle joins us on this massive Wednesday.
Hey Lamar, like what's more important to you, saving I don't know what, like $7 million, or just having this offseason where you didn't have to worry about anything and you had $175 million.
190, 200 even. 200. I mean, who knows? Like,
after tax.
The way Drew said it, he could have at least got 200, 215. He said whatever that was in the first year, by week 7, the next year is guaranteed. Like, it's a lot of ways that he just broke that down to us that you can get the deal done where it don't have to say that, oh, I got 230 guaranteed. Fuck the 230. Let's figure out how we can be the highest paid in the first 2-3 years, and then you're back at the table.
Now, everybody wants long-term comfort. I understand completely. That's what I'm kind of seeking right now for our program and everything like that. But whenever you're talking about football, especially with hey, here's the reality of the situation. You can make this amount of money, which is a better deal than what they're making, and get another crack at the apple in like 3 years. Like, come on, they can put a no tag on there at the end of it. There's like so many things you can add on there. Yeah. You are completely in control of your future, and you're making a lot of money. We hope it'll happen. Big thanks to Drew Rosenhaus for joining us. That baby, Drew.
Baby Drew.
You, Drew.
And his rate's negotiable.
What's that?
And his rate's negotiable.
Boom, we almost got that thing down to 1.5.
We almost got it down. We'll get the other one.
Yeah. Hey, Lamar, that's where you showcase your business sense there, Lamar.
Yeah.
Because they're hoping that you don't ask. Listen, they care about you, but they are hoping that you don't ask. Now, if you ask, now guess what we're in? Negotiation.
Boom.
Boom. Now, and Lamar, that's tens of millions of dollars that you are kind of negotiating there. So that's big business. Feel proud of yourself. Let's get to a break. George Kittle will join us on the other side of this 5-minute break. We're going to be about 10 minutes late, so he might be a little bit feisty.
Okay.
He saved my life, though, this past weekend at WrestleMania. I'm appreciative of him. Future Hall of Famer George Kittle joins us. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Take 5.
We're talking hockey. Roldy and Rupp are talking hockey.
That was the first time I found out it was Mario Brothers. That's all. Growing up, like everybody called it Mario Bros. You know, that was just
Once you're called the fucking king of New York, you didn't feel like you had to dress at a higher level.
What I love about New York is however you want to dress, however you want to, who you want to be, you just blend in, and it's so comfortable.
This is an organization in Arizona that wasn't paying their fucking bills earlier in the season.
Again, he's not trying to square off with cats because no one.
Someone didn't pay the electric bill around here.
Fucking bum.
Where you at? Away from the dungeon? What is that? You got the bricks in the back.
The fuck's going on?
Is this a fucking Saw? Is this a Saw movie, dude?
Yeah.
Where's fucking Jigsaw?
You want to play a game?
Hey, boss. Thanks for talking.
Hey. You said you swept the stars. That kind of shut me up. For the rest of the show.
Not one of my finest moments or proudest moments or whatever you want to call it, but I tell you one thing. It's infamous in the sense that I go into schools and young kids will come up to me and they go, "Oh, you really gave it to Bellows." And I got to, oh, kid, you know, that was computer generated.
Get into the Blues alumni kind of unofficially / officially. They gave me one of these bad boys.
Oh,
so
look at that. Got
I
you one of these.
I feel pretty.
Look at that thing.
That's
What?
what?
We're winning the fucking Stanley Cup. The Red Wings are almost as bad as Fox internet service right
Whoa!
there. The Bruins are getting fucking ran out of town tonight. Yo, biggest lock, I got it. And Ty knows, even though he might be Mark Stoner in this thing, the Vegas Golden Knights fucking stink. Texas, what's that known for? WrestleMania's coming to town. WrestleMania's coming to town. Not the goddamn Dallas Stars. Let's go, Pens. We can't lose with 7 in the stands. Now,
Hey, great haircut. Good to meet you finally.
Great. You know, we'll
Yeah,
just
I love it.
slide in the chair.
I love it.
It's as simple as this, okay? You gotta have fuck you in the game.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't, you're missing something.
I said, "Sir, if I could just speak up on his behalf, this is like the second greatest player ever." And Mario turned and looked at me and goes, "Second? Behind who?"
All 4 of those guys aren't rolling, or it's not enough to win one round. This is supposed to be a team good enough to win a cup. We're talking about one friggin' round.
Aaron Burrows told me, and he said this to Henrik Lundqvist's face at dinner. He goes, "Henky, you know how they did the renovation at the Garden for $1 billion? It's all you, bro. It's all you being in the net. $1 billion renovation at the Garden, paid for in 5 years. It wasn't because the Knicks were in the playoffs. It's because the Rangers went on all those runs, and the stud on the team, among several, was their goalie, Henrik Lundqvist."
Gino, honestly, he's one of the funniest guys you can be around, and he probably busted my chops more than anybody. "Why are you so slow? You old. Like, he would look up like my old contracts and be like, "What? No, you're no good."
Thanks for having me on. This was good hockey.
Hey, look it! From Wee-Man! He learned something from Brock. And Wee-Man back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. Wee-Man so angry. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Wee-Man body slamming Sami Zayn. Wee-Man Oh! Yeah. Ooh. Oh! Tried. Ah! That's a good. Why?
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Winter Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Hour 3 of this sports program starts now.
Much money!
Much money to the man on my left. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, and a video game community shit stirrer. Father of 10, Green Bay Packers all-time leading tackler, COVID survivor, AJ Hawk. The Toxic Tables here at Posse Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. 14-year NFL corner, an icon of a human, Adam Pac-Man Jones is here. Got a locker in the Thunderdome. Adam, baby, welcome to the team. And joining us now is a man that is on the San Francisco 49ers football team.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the faces of the San Francisco 49ers. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's an absolute dog out of Iowa. The Iowa Hawkeyes legend and I got a chance to chat alongside his father on the Hidden Pearls podcast just yesterday that I believe will be coming out in the next week or so. An absolute stud. A man who saved me and helped me at WrestleMania on Saturday, George fucking Kittle.
What's up, boys?
What's up, George? Hey, you in that tank top on you were yoked, dude. Huh?
Shredded.
What?
I'll roll it up for you.
Hey, are you always? I saw your dad. Your dad took it. Your dad took his shirt off and had a tank top last night on the Hidden Pearls podcast, and then we got to see him after WrestleMania. He's a strapping lad. Okay, have you always just been yoked, shredded, or are you like in peak shape right now that you've all like? What is? Because you are. It's got to be like 4% body fat.
Oh God.
6'5", just fucking a monster, and he can move. Like, why are you the way you are, and have you always been like this?
No, I was actually a small human being up until basically my junior year of high school. Actually, junior year of college, really, I had a 2-inch growth spurt. But like I was like 170 pounds in high school, 6'1". And then I had a growth spurt in college. I grew like 2.5 inches and gained 70 pounds. That helped a lot.
I'd say, yeah, because you still got that little guy athleticism, right? And then your body just kind of gets bigger and stronger and faster.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, I mean, I appreciate the 6'5". Combine got me in at 6'3" and 5/8. Shout out. No help there. 6'3" and 5/8 and 245 pounds-ish.
Bro, they push you.
I know, right?
Yeah, they push you down at the combine. The NBA wants you taller. Put on the highest shoes you got. The NFL is like, nope, be as small as you fucking can. We don't care at all.
They put you in a divot so you're even shorter than they say you are. It's tough.
You're walking around at 6'5", though. You put some shoes on. You're a monster, and on Saturday you looked fantastic. Go ahead, AJ.
George, that's what I wanted to ask you about WrestleMania. Was it what you expected? Obviously, I thought you had an unbelievable performance. I mean, I think I think Miz might be hurt. I think he's legit hurt from what you have done to him and jumped around that ring, everything you were doing. How did you feel? Like, was it what you expected, I guess?
Well, I mean, it was a wonderful experience. Like, WWE is one of the coolest companies I've ever done anything with. Like, their hospitality is above and beyond. They just treat everybody so well. The shows they put on are amazing. WrestleMania is one of the coolest experiences. Like, if you've never been to WrestleMania, if you don't even watch wrestling, WrestleMania is an incredible experience.
Worth it.
You got to try it at least once. You got to do it at least once. It's nuts. So that part was awesome. Like, I know me and Pat talked a little bit yesterday. You know, I've been pestering him for a while about, wanting to get in the ring, help him out if he needed anything. Just letting him know that, hey, I have your back if anything happens. And shot me a text last week, like, hey, I might need you at WrestleMania. I might not. I'm not sure. Just be ready. So I've been wearing that black tank top you're about to see for about 2 weeks, and just in preparation, just ready, in case something happened in the middle of the day, workout wise. And then I had my opportunity because the Miz just decided to mouth off. Thought he was tough enough, could push me out of my chair. My wife said, hey, go in there and kick his ass. And I'm not going to let my wife down. So I had to go in there and back up my guy, Pat.
Nice.
Hey, I appreciate your wife saying that because it certainly helped me. And he did try to make you a little punk bitch, didn't he? I mean, he was like, you're behind the banister. He was quitting a match at WrestleMania, first of all.
Out.
Okay, all I wanted, and as soon as I heard there was an open challenge, I'm like, now's the time. I've been sitting in this bus 8 hours for this moment to potentially arrive. We didn't know when it was going to come, if a moment was going to come, but if it came, we're going to be ready, much like you. So he says, I have an open challenge. It's like I sprint from the bus to Gorilla. I say, excuse me, can you please play my music? I would like to go answer this challenge. They say, you got it. So we go out there, and I thought it was a win-win. Because I get a chance to say hello to the beautiful WWE Universe again.
Of course.
What a group that I've missed while I've been incredibly busy with everything we have going on. And I can't wait to get back yet again because to everything you said, that place is fucking fantastic. But also, as a massive Miz fan, I get a chance to, see the Miz have a match at WrestleMania. He deserves that. The Miz... WrestleMania, the world deserves to see the Miz.
He's awesome.
At WrestleMania, it was a win-win. I've never seen a win-win like that.
No.
Just like so available, just right in front of my eyes. And it's like, well, I'm not going to miss the opportunity. So and he was going to quit. He was going to leave.
He was.
And George, you were a member of the WWE Universe, Miz fan. You go, Miz, get your ass back in the ring, dude. We all want to see you work, right? Isn't that what you were saying?
I was just like, hey, man, the people want to see you go in there. The people want to see you go in there. Now, I will say, Pat, when I heard your music kit, I knew that, hey, this is my one shot at an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I might have triggered the Miz into hitting me, so I had an excuse to get in the ring.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm just learning this.
But I didn't say anything to me. And I said, Miz, get in there. Give the people what they want. And then he told me to shut up. And I was like, don't say that to me. And he shoves me. I was like,
okay.
What are we doing, man? What do we do? I thought this was a respectable business.
Well, I thought we were friends. I'm a fan of yours, actually.
Yeah.
Watch you on Fear Factor with Rogan way back.
That's right. The challenge.
Saw you in real. I mean, I'm a fan. And then as I distracted that ref, because we would have been disqualified. I would have been disqualified so quick. You hit him so hard. You hit him so. And I know that, you have a couple moves just in the back pocket just in case. There was some the clothesline is not an easy thing, to really. Felt like you hit it pretty good, right? I feel like you felt pretty good on the contact there with old Miz.
I use the same tactics as I do for football. I visualized the move that I was going to want to use. And then I wanted to do more, but when I heard his, lifeless body smack it, I was like, I don't need to hit him anymore other than that. He's going to be okay, and Pat will be able to finish it. Yeah, I heard the wind leaving his body, his soul just exhaled, and I was like, it's over for him. He doesn't have any more left in the tank. And then he punted his face off.
Well, you're also directing traffic. You're like, hey, you know what? Saw you last year at WrestleMania Dallas. Like, hey, you can go. Why don't you go up to the top? You said. I'm like, I don't want to let down George Kittle. That's
a good idea.
I don't want to let down George Kittle, especially after what he did. So I get up there, I realize it's a lot higher than I thought, and I have to Swanton Bombini, obviously, through Miz's chest. I appreciate. Did I get you?
Well, you're the WWE superstar, so I would just letting everyone know how strong you were in that jump right there.
Okay.
He's a worker. He knows.
You understand the put over, everything like that. You get the biz.
I will say this. I was not going to let you jump higher than me, though. There's no chance in that.
Did I? No. I mean, if we...
A little close. Let's see.
It might have been a conversation beforehand, too. Like, hey, if we ever do anything cool together, let's maybe... Look at your shoulder. It is above mine. Damn it. He's 6'4".
He's bigger though, so you jump further, right?
He's 5 there. I jumped into him a little bit more. George, you're a freak, dude. You're a physical specimen. You're perfect for the WWE world. You almost got us disqualified there. I almost did, where I was like, hey, help me out here. Well, thanks to the ref for being cool about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's a little feel. That's a little feel by the ref. Like, hey, listen, there's no reason for this.
Hey, best refs of the weekend, honestly, at WrestleMania.
Hey, you ain't lying. That fucking women's college basketball.
Yeah.
I know you're from Iowa, so obviously heartbreaker. Hell of a run, though. Hell of a run by the girls. And I'm a fan. Caitlin Clark is actually coming to West Virginia next year.
Don't listen to him, George. I've been in the fucking trenches all week trying to say she's a Hawkeye. True and true, through and through. There's no way she's leaving Iowa.
No.
She's not leaving, Pat. There's no way.
I don't know. West
There's
Virginia
no
has
way.
I didn't graduate, so I don't know if I'm an alumni or not, but West Virginia has somebody who has,
They got some big fun.
and some real reckless pockets, and is a big fan of Caitlin.
Yeah.
Hey, she was
All
awesome.
right, yeah. Hey, Pat, let's just say, I don't know how all the NIL recruiting stuff works in college, but let's just say, Alabama football wanted Caitlin Clark, that type of pocket. What do you think they would pay her to go play at their college?
I don't know. That's
just curious.
We've had that conversation. We actually tried to figure that out because she would be the person, right? That everybody would. She immediately puts your school on primetime games. Everything because of how fucking great she is. Angel Reese as well, and Flaugier.
900 and some thousand. So you would think she would get a little bit more than her.
Allegedly, she's already making $3 million.
Let's go, wow, dude.
We can top that.
Hell yeah.
That's sick.
That's in Iowa. You guys, they don't care for you. I know you're from there.
I think she's a Nike athlete.
She is so good, dude. That was fun to watch. That women's coach. Your wife, right? Isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife played at Iowa. She played there for 4 years. That's where we met. She's an also stud. Kicks my ass at horse every time.
Hey, no, but that's my first time really diving into the women's college basketball experience. I started with the Miami-Indiana game when Miami won in Bloomington, and it was on late night in the middle of the week, and I'm like, what is this? And it was fucking awesome. It was an electrifying environment because they have home games, for the tournament and seeding. Yeah. So then I turned on the next game I happened upon. This Caitlin Clark was playing. And I'm like, holy shit, she looks like that GIF where that one guy's at the Papa shot.
Oh, yeah.
Getting buckets.
That's literally what she looked like playing. I'm like, this is awesome. And then you meet the LSU team. There's a girl on there that's a rapper who is a better rapper probably than anybody that's rapping right now.
Unbelievable.
In the business. And she, women's college basketball was awesome the last couple weeks. I don't know if that's how it always is. I assume it is. You've kind of been in that world, I guess, George, with the wife.
Yeah, I actually, when I was in college, I would go to my wife's team, Claire. They were actually really good, and they were always in the last round of the semifinals championship of the Big Ten tournament. So I'd always drive to Chicago or Indianapolis, and I'd go to all of their the whole tournament, just drink as much beer as I possibly could, and support and scream at people. It was really fun.
Iowa always good.
Iowa women's basketball is always good. They're always above, they're always I would say top 4 in the Big Ten, in my opinion. They've always been pretty talented.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
George, you said you had a late growth spurt when you got in college. What was it like when you went from high school to college in that strength program? I know they have a crazy strength program there. That's what you guys do. You develop people. You develop players. What was it like? Was that eye-opening?
Yeah. I went from, like I said, I graduated at 180 pounds. I got up to 195 before I got to college, and I was there for that first summer. It took me 2 years to get over 225, but that whole process of, hey, you don't you have to put in so many hours. Yeah, there I am, 180 pounds, signing my letter of intent. That was fun with my dad.
Hold on, though. If you're looking at a puppy dog, you look at the paws, and it's this dog's going to grow.
Big mitts.
Look at your fucking mitts, dude. Did we know you were going to grow? Did we assume, or do you think that was it?
Well, no. My dad he played left tackle at Iowa, so he was 6'4", 280. 285, and then my mom is a two-sport Hall of Fame athlete in the state of Iowa for high school, softball and basketball. So she's the freak athlete too. And so I knew I was going to grow into it. Just I didn't know when. And so I feel I hit puberty at the age of 21, 23, somewhere in there. Just took me a minute.
Well, I think it all worked out, and now that his wife is a women's basketball player.
Uh-huh.
Hey, good on you. Shout out to Iowa, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to fucking Iowa out there. Pac-Man has a question for you, George.
Big bro, I mean, brother, how was the wrestling first? Because we had a conversation, I think it was Super Bowl weekend, about how geeked you was about it.
Oh, dude, I mean, I don't get to go to a lot of wrestling stuff unless it's in San Jose during the season at a good time, or if it just happens to be rolling through Nashville. But like when I can go to those experiences, it's awesome. Especially like WrestleMania is planned out on my schedule at the start of the like I know, hey, whenever WrestleMania is next year, I'll be there. Nothing can be scheduled that weekend. I'm going to be there as much as I possibly can be.
Hell
so,
yeah.
like I said, it's just such a fantastic event. And like one of my favorite moments of WrestleMania past. So like last year when we were in Dallas, I played a playoff game in Dallas with the Niners. We beat Dallas in Dallas.
Hell yeah.
And like that stadium was so loud. And then Stone Cold comes out and asks if he should be in a match. Give me a hell yeah. And I'm sitting down on the field because there's an extra like 20,000 people because of that. It was the loudest stadium I've ever been in my entire life. Like I've never been anywhere like that. It's like any football game I've been to, whether it's Seattle, whether it's Dallas. I mean, there's like some great stadiums, but like there was Kansas City's really loud. Like that was the loudest experience I've had on a football field was a WWE event. And that's why I'm addicted. I have to go back.
All right, you're going to have McAfee the whole year this year. You had him for half of the year last year. How you feel about that? I think that'll take away the double team on your lot.
I appreciate that, and I hope it does because if you're going to double team me and then you have to single cover Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings, hey, good luck, man. Good luck. If you want to do whatever you want to, hey, if I have one catch a game, I know my fantasy football coaches will be really mad at me for that. It is what it is. As long as we're winning games, we're feeding the right guys the ball. I'm never going to get mad if Christian McCaffrey has 20 carries and 10 catches for 300 total yards. I'll never be upset about that because he's such a talented football player. So it's really fun to be on a team that does have a problem of like too many mouths to feed, because Coach Shanahan does such a great job of scheming everybody into like getting certain plays and stuff. And it's just really fun to be a part of an offense like that has so much talent on it.
Your dad was left tackle, you said? I didn't know that. Is that why you're such a good road grader and why you think you have the mentality of like, yeah, if I don't get the ball? Because I think when Brock Purdy came in, that's when you started like two tuds, tud. But at the beginning of the year, you were still the same George Kittle. You weren't getting the ball as much. It seems like that doesn't affect you at all. But in the world that we're in, you know, you're going to be judged for how many touchdowns you catch. Why do you think that is?
Well, I'll say this, like back when I was, I've been like 5th grade football. My dad was our coach, tackle football. And the only drills that we did, the entire team would have pads, blocking pads, so you can't see my upper body. And we'd all do O-line blocking drills. Everybody, whether you're a running back, a quarterback, wide receiver, DB, corner, like whatever it was, we're all doing O-line drills. And he'd always tell us, he'd be like, hey, you're all going to try your best to play offensive line, but not all of you are going to be good enough to play offensive line, and you're going to have to play another position like quarterback or wide receiver or running back. And that's okay, and we'll still like you, but O-line is the best position in football. So that was my mindset growing up. And so now when I got to college, and one of the first things the coach said to me was, because I was 200 pounds, like, if you don't learn how to run block, you'll never play here. And I was like, okay, well, and then run blocking at Iowa, I mean, you get like 150 reps a day of just running into people every single day. And so I was like, well, I'm either going to learn to love this or I'm going to hate my life every single day. And so I just went into it with the mindset that I'm going to love this. I'm going to be better than anyone else at it. And that's kind of my mindset now. It's that if I'm not getting the ball, I'm going to influence the game in the run game. And I'm going to make the guy across from me's life living hell. And so then when I do get the opportunity to do a play action or something like that, I'm going to get into the zone. I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to run. I'm going to score. Or, hey, you need me to pass pro a guy who gets paid $100 million on 3rd down? Bring it. I cannot wait. I can't wait for you to be on my highlight reel where I block you and lock you down, because no tight end should block a defensive end is what everybody always says. I take that personally because I can block anybody. Nick Bosa is really difficult to block, but thankfully he's on my team.
Yeah, he is on your team, and it seems like he's going to be on your team for a long time. I was the same way about a punter tackling somebody. I knew that the meeting the next day was going to be a nightmare, and that was kind of my framing in my mind. You have a great mindset, and after chatting with your dad on that Hidden Pearls podcast, it's almost like you've been preparing to be a professional athlete and a great teammate for a long time. I'd assume your dad's been the way he is now for a long time. That team over there, you talk about having too many mouths to feed. You got 14 quarterbacks right now.
Yep.
Like it is a fast. Yeah, keep going. You could play. I heard you could take a snap.
That's okay. I'm okay to have 14 quarterbacks because we went through 4.5 last year. We still didn't have enough. So let's just have as many as we can on the roster. NFL, let's open it up. Apparently we need it. It is what it is. As long as we have someone that could throw a football, it's okay.
It's a wild
It's okay.
thing. Hey, that first quarter, and I know you have to hate talking about it, but that was the least lucky quarter I think I've ever seen a team have ever. Quarterback, see you later to the elbow. Yep. Fred Warner dislocates his shoulder on the first play. Devontae Smith
fourth down, drops the ball, but they didn't review it.
And then it's first down, we're good to go. Bosa gets hit by somebody on a punt team getting tossed on the sideline, which could happen literally any time. The cleat slices like an actual muscle in his leg, so he's not as explosive. This is all, and then backup quarterback gets hurt. Yeah. That's all happening in one quarter in the NFC Championship game. It's like, that's a fucking heartbreaker. So hate that. I have to bring that up to you. Like, I do hate that I have to do that. But your team is there. Like, you guys are there to win a Super Bowl. You have been for a long time. It just feels like you're unlucky at one particular position. How do you guys handle that? You just have to be like, yeah, whatever. Next man up is cool, because this is numerous years in a row now where it's been so damn snake bitten, it feels like, at one position. It happens to be the one that matters the most.
Yeah, I mean, I realized this after this season. I kind of look back at my career, and I just finished my 6th year. I've had 1 year with one quarterback. That was 2019. We went to the Super Bowl. Besides that, I've had 2 or more 2021, I had Jimmy G and Trey Lance played 1 or 2 games for us, and we had Jimmy back for the playoffs. But besides that, I've had 3 or more quarterbacks every year of my entire career.
Damn.
And so would I prefer to have one quarterback that starts the whole season? Yes, because it's really fun to build, just get in the same mood, get in the same wave with that quarterback. So understand you run the routes, how he's throwing the ball. And you just kind of get in a groove with each other. That part is really fun. However, I don't really mind playing with multiple quarterbacks, because a lot of the guys, everybody that we've had, I've enjoyed playing with. Like, even when Josh Johnson came in, I didn't really have doubt. I didn't have doubt in my head. I'm like, I played catch with Josh before. He's thrown me the ball before. I'm not really worried about it. He's an NFL quarterback. He's on the team. He's on the team for a reason. Like, we're not just going to have really bad athletes on our team. And so, hey, is he the number one choice? No, but hey, he's on the team. He knows the playbook. And he's an NFL quarterback. He can throw the ball. Like, we completed a really nice 3rd and long. He threw me on a nice out route. And I was like, hey, we're going to roll. And then the next play, he gets a concussion. He's out. And then you're like, all right, well, that's aggressive. But it's just, I'm okay with playing with multiple quarterbacks. I've gotten used to it. Would prefer one healthy one. And like you listed, we had a random snake bite. That's just the most venomous thing possible. I will say this, what's funny, after the game, I had people telling me that, hey, Juan, you didn't show up on the stats sheet. I was like, I wonder why we couldn't throw a football. That's not really my fault. Secondly, they're like, hey, you just need to work harder next year. I'm like, this has nothing to do with working hard, man. This is just severe unluckiness, because, our team, we were primed, we were prepped, we were ready to roll, ready to hit people. And then it's just, hey, shit happens. Life is really hard sometimes. And hey, how are you going to bounce back? Am I going to let that be a sour taste in my mouth for the rest of for the rest of the year? No. It took me a month. I flushed it. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm healthy. Ready to roll again, hit people in the face.
Team's really good. Love that you're back to hitting people in the face. We were worried about you there for those 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Those 3 weeks. Connor has a question for you, George.
Yeah, George, you had the tight end U shirt on at WrestleMania. That's coming up, I believe. What's the plan there? Are there a lot of young guys coming in? Because allegedly this draft class has a bunch of tight end studs. And will you guys be going over some of that blocking you mentioned, like in Pop Warner, or are you just catching passes, drinking beer?
Well, we are going to do a lot of that, catching passes.
Hell yeah.
Smart.
And then I'm also going to we got some young guys coming in. Usually in years past, we haven't invited too many rookies, just because, if you don't include the rookie class, there's at the end of the year, there's 130 tight ends that were on a roster at some point. And I try to invite everybody that was on active and a lot of the practice squad guys. And I want to I don't want to invite too many rookies to take away from the guys who have been in the league and who have practiced and gone through a full season. But there will be some rookies there. Like Michael Mayer was a college tight end that was there for one day last year and was able to do some stuff with me and Greg Olson. Laporta, he's my Iowa guy. I'm probably going to get him in. But yeah, there will be some rookie guys there. But besides that, we're going to do a lot of run blocking stuff. I always do a run blocking class because I want to make an emphasis of it, because I don't really like watching tape when tight ends are getting tossed around. And I get that, the defensive ends, there's you look at a guy like Jacksonville Josh Allen, not Buffalo Bills Josh Allen. But like that dude's a specimen. He's like 6'6", 280, can like bench press a house. But like you still have to be able to block guys like that. And I don't want to be a liability for my team, and I don't want other guys to be a liability for my team, for their teams, because I want every tight end to have 10 touchdowns and 1,000 yards and get paid $17 to $20 million. Because all it does is just pick us all up, and then we're just going to keep escalating that market. So like, I want everybody to play at a high level. So yes, we're going to do a lot of O-line stuff. I'm very excited for that. Some footwork stuff, some technique stuff, hands, aiming point, first, second step, and just being aggressive and violent.
Hey, it's bad for the brand of tight ends. You guys start getting dummied out there. And then it's always highlighted, and then everybody says what you said, like, tight ends should not be blocking us. And George's like, well, we are, so we need to stop looking terrible in slow motion to make a point that people think they're sticking up for us. Really, it's a tight end just getting fucking body bagged in a physical part of it. And then we find a highlight like this one that pops up in our life, and it's you literally grabbing Bud on the run game and then laughing fucking hysterically. Ha, ha, ha! You're laughing hysterically on the ground immediately upon the touchdown being scored, and you pancaking guy. You love it. You love everything about it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I always get asked, like, would you rather, get a pancake? Would you rather score a touchdown? Hey, don't get me wrong, scoring touchdowns is awesome. It's really fun, and like that's what you get paid for in the NFL. But when you can like flat back a guy and you feel the exhale and their soul leaving their body, there's not much more of an exciting response. But like AJ, when you tackle the guy and you smoke them and you like felt him go, oh, like that's an amazing feeling. And there's nothing quite like it. And so every time you get to do that, it's literally like, all right, like I own you, like not I own you, but like I'm going to be in your head for a long time and I'm going to have free real estate.
AJ, what were your thoughts whenever you did that to somebody every single year at ACC, the Tahoe thing with the buff guy, and then also in football?
Yeah, that was off the field. But yeah, George, 100% correct. When you so when you got locked on to do, there's a moment where as a defender, I'm screwed. Like my feet are underneath me. This guy has me. I'm going down. And then when you go down, it usually even hurts more than you thought it was going to hurt. And it's more embarrassing, especially if you're laughing on top of me, too. That'd be tough.
Yeah, how about him? Ha, 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 because you're laughing on top of him as well. We just saw you whenever your back turned. It's a whole – when did you start laughing? When you got him? When you know you got him? When's the laugh start?
There.
Jeez.
Nice.
Well, yeah, like I felt his feet leave the ground, and I was just like, it was more of like a giggle. Like that, I was just like, I couldn't believe that I found myself in this situation, and I was just very happy. Well, like, this is my thing. So that's a safety, right? And I should do that to the safety. And was it a mild hold? Probably my hands were reaching around the back, but like I didn't prevent him from going anywhere because I was driving him backwards. But my old tight ends coach, who's with Miami now, would always tell me, and he was like, a safety will never second guess taking you out in the kneecaps when you're going to catch a ball, and he'll never think about he'll never second guess hitting you in the back. So when you have an opportunity and he lines up right in front of you and it's a run play, make him regret every second of being a safety and regretting being up in the line of scrimmage thinking that he can block you.
Yeah, a little comeuppance for the entire position. Yeah, these kneecaps. Okay. A lot of years of what your position has done. Ty Schmidt, Iowa Hawkeye.
Yeah, go Hawks, George. Appreciate you putting on for us this weekend at Mania. That was fucking awesome. Everyone always talks about Kyle Shanahan's offense, like specifically the run game and how creative it is and how many, different looks you guys give. You obviously have Debo and Christian McCaffrey, but like in open space, you're so fucking explosive. Why don't we have any like end arounds or like misdirections to like get you a couple carries a game? Like, why isn't that happening every single week?
Great question. First off, being a running back, in my opinion, sucks because you get tackled by everybody as hard as they possibly can. Like when I get the ball in open space, usually I'm only getting tackled by corners, safeties, and maybe a linebacker from behind. That's about it. And so like that doesn't hurt as much. But when you get hit by a Fletcher Cox, that doesn't feel very good, especially when you're significantly smaller than him. But hey, I get an end around once in a while, and we're going to keep adding those in. But our run game it's pretty special, and it's crazy too. Like the evolution of it since I was a rookie. It went from like basically just straight outside inside zone with some gap scheme stuff to now like every play has like you see those double motion when Juszczyk is flying over to help me and we're going to kick out the outside linebacker. You see stuff like that. You see that I do that with Trent Williams now where he's the lead and I'm motioning over kicking out the guy inside. We do all this fun stuff with motions that affects defense's rotation and stuff like that to get good looks for our running backs. And nice to put guys in better positions for us to block them. So just the evolution of it has been awesome because every year is almost completely different. it's just the same plays, but the motions and the formation stuff and how we get there has been changing so much.
Are all of you psychos on that team? Like Trent, whenever he was pulling, it was like he looked like he was rather pumped to do that. He had to be, I guess. But that was one of the scariest images and scenes in football, I think, whenever he started getting on the move across an entire formation. You all love that. Juszczyk obviously is incredible at what he does, but it feels like you have a very physical football team over there. Not easy to find, I don't think.
No, I mean that's kind of it wasn't always like that. We had to kind of establish that, and it kind of started John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, like they said, this is the type of team we want because we want every team that faces us to be like, this is an ice bag game where we're gonna have to try our asses off and do something that we're not incredibly comfortable with, and we know that we're gonna be incredibly sore for the entire week after that. And if you look at the stat too, every single team that played us lost the next week, besides Kansas City because they had to bye the following week. But every other single team lost the week after playing us because, and I'm going to
by a plan.
And
that's the plan. That's the plan. Like, yeah.
That's the plan.
That's a hilarious.
Just to beat the shit out of our opponent.
I've never heard that before. I mean, I might have, obviously, I haven't been in the football world my entire life, and I only played for the Colts. But I enjoy hearing a GM and a coach say, hey, we're going to be the type of team that the other team's going to be sore the entire fucking week after playing us. It's like, that's a different way to say, like, we're going to be a hard-nosed team. It's like, hey, this is what we are expecting to do. And then also you guys knowing that every team lost after playing. Hey, did you see what happened to? Yep. Did you see what happened to?
Lost again.
Did you see what happened to? That's like a pride thing. That's awesome. That's the type of team you want to. That's the type of team you want to be on. Now, me personally would love to be in a position that doesn't hit anybody.
Sure.
I mean, like that's a good team to be around.
Yeah,
like the guys, like, hey, this is a pretty tough group of humans here. I think I would like to hang out with them. Last question for you, George. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Tom.
George, you and Connor referenced pass catching, drinking at tight end. Who's the best pass catcher drinker at tight end?
Probably the guy who's averaging 1,200 yards a season and 10 touchdowns, Travis Kelce.
Drinking?
He's pretty, yeah. Well, at anything you listed, I won't say that again. I won't repeat it, but he's very talented in all regards. Big fan. I've learned a lot from him in multiple facets of my game on and off.
He's fucking awesome, man. He was great on Saturday Night Live. Like, it was tough because there was a UFC fight, massive one. Jones was coming back, and there was so many great fights. And then Saturday Night Live's on at the same time. It's like, come on. Like, this is not the right night to have Travis Kelce or an NFL guy for you, a tight end on Saturday Night Live, but wanted to show my support, wanted to get a number on the rating, so like, hey, we'll follow. He crushed it. Absolutely crushed it, as would you. We can't thank you enough for taking time, and have a great weekend, brother.
What?
You're George Kittle.
What?
You play tight end.
What?
You grew 2 inches in college.
What?
Became a bully.
What?
Run my face into you.
What?
Every time.
What?
Yet again.
What?
Concussed.
What?
Knocked out.
What?
Do you have a pulse?
What?
Can you bleed your own blood?
What?
You're dead?
What?
We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. George Kittle.
George.
He's the man.
Yeah, the best.
He's a big guy in person, too.
Huge.
Massive.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
And he has that psycho mentality. Did you hear that? That would suck for you guys.
Well, I had a chance to chill with him during Super Bowl week, and we was talking about the wrestling thing. I don't think he had an idea that you would be calling him, needing a little help, but he was telling me how interested he was in doing the WWE, but it was just how funny everything went so fast.
Yeah, full circle. Kind of comes around. And I don't think that's going to be the last time you're going to see him doing so. He's like perfect for it.
Yeah.
He's like actually perfect.
Seems right in his wheelhouse. He seems very comfortable.
He's into all that. And the comic books, I think he was telling me about, and all of that stuff.
Big Godzilla guy.
Storylines.
But and also a Joker tattoo is sick.
Yep.
I mean, he has he's a fantastic character that the NFL has.
Yeah.
A great one that the NFL has. Yes. He's perfect for the WWE. I mean, he's absolutely perfect for it. If you look at all the guys who have made it from the NFL to go to the WWE, they do this post pretty much every NFL thing.
Sure.
It's all offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and then me, right in the middle of it almost. George Kittle's an offensive lineman who happens to be a freak athletically, and he has a perfect personality for pretty much anything. If he was to be a WWE superstar, he would be a guy.
He would go.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. I hope he gets a chance to maybe do that someday, but I don't see him retiring from the old football anytime soon because he absolutely is obsessed with it. But there's a guy that's like, could have been, I think, and hopefully will still be able to be a little bit a part of it.
Yeah, and him saying that was his 6th year in the NFL. I thought he's been in the NFL for like 10 years.
Me too.
And he probably still has another 10 years. So hopefully he gets that Super Bowl, man. Only 1 year in his career. He's had one quarterback during a season. That sucks.
That's how this game is, man. Some guys that's so good never even won a playoff game, bro. Some guys never even been to the playoff game. That's Hall of Fame numbers. And then you got guys like AJ. Fuck it, hey, you got it, bling bling.
Hey, Super Bowl, college football national championship, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You could be the all-time leading tackler for a team and not have any playoff wins.
Yeah.
Because how potential luck goes or how everything else goes. You got to really live right, which this guy's clearly been doing.
Amen.
Hey, baby.
Like that guy for the Lions last year, Spielman or whatever, who got voted into the Lions Ring of Honor.
Chris?
Yeah.
He was running the team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they surprised him and put him in the Ring of Honor.
Calvin Johnson, though, never won a playoff game.
Boom.
Jason Hanson, never won a playoff game.
I've never been to a playoff game.
And he won all the Lions.
Have Calvin been to a playoff
Yeah, he
game?
went. Stafford went 3 times, I think. So Calvin had to be there for all those.
So that means Jason Hanson went too, right? Because he would have been there with staff?
Yes.
How many
I
years did he
believe
kick?
so.
25 years?
Never playoff.
He was our best player my whole life.
No playoff game. So it's hard. Like, he's so good.
Where's he on all-time points? Is he in the top 5?
I would assume he's somewhere up there. He played so long, was so good.
I don't know if the Lions were scoring enough for him to be there.
Yeah.
Though.
His kickoff steps. I mean, he ran 30 yards for a kickoff.
That's sweet.
At the beginning of my career, we played against the Lions, and he was on team, so I had to mimic what the other kicker was doing, you know? Fucking running 40-yard sprints after this ball. I'm like, damn, how's this guy? So he had to be in great shape. I mean, he's running sprints before kicking on the field in the game. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know if anybody ever will. But then you start thinking about how long he was there, how good he had to be for how long he had to be there.
Oh, yeah.
He can never get to a point where he had like a series of shanks because at some age you get so expensive that they're waiting on you to miss 3-4 kicks and then your ass is out of there. He never did that. But I'm not sure he'll ever get properly judged in the kicking world because not a single ball mattered.
Yeah.
Not a single
No
one.
pressure.
Not
Legitimately.
Not a single one. Are we going to win today? Maybe. Are we going to lose today? Maybe.
Probably.
Like there's like some teams where it's like, hey, every single time you touch the ball today, it is going to matter for long-term.
Big deal.
Everything. Like everything's going to matter. So I think like that is why in the kicking world, not necessarily judged in the proper way, but a damn good guy for a long time at kicking balls.
Nick just said he was a 2nd-round draft pick. Well worth it.
So good.
Yes.
So much talent. Imagine if he would have been able to be at a place where there was a little bit of a pressure moment. All he would have to do is make one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just have one playoff game moment
Yeah.
that he could rely on and say, well, if I had more opportunities, I would do it. Never had one.
No.
Or on the opposite side, too. He said he would hit that, it'd be the thing. But if he didn't hit that, well,
Oh, they would
Hanson
hold it over
fucking
his
sucks.
head.
Yeah.
One kick. Yeah, they would hold over his head
Yeah.
forever because, you know, that's a shame.
That's why Vinny's so absurd.
Yeah, Vinny just fucking the biggest moments.
He's on the best team for so long.
Yeah, he's tough. He's 4
Okay.
for points. Now let's remember that this is same playing ground as Vinatieri, though, because they don't count playoff points.
Right.
The most important points. Vinatieri's played 2 full seasons in the playoff games that did not count towards his points. So he had to do it just regular season points to get there. So that's everybody. But that's a hell of a crew up there at the top.
George Blanda at 7, he's the oldest quarterback to ever play a game.
Yeah, he's a Western Pennsylvania guy, played 49 years old.
Hell yeah. He's also kicking football.
Oh, yeah.
You
Scored
know
a lot
that.
of points.
Hell yeah.
Jason Elam, Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby.
Morton Anderson, last guy with the old 1-bar face mask.
I don't think he's the last guy.
I don't know. I think he got grandfathered in to where he was wearing it way past anybody else.
No, there was a punter. There was a punter for the Browns who had it whenever I got drafted. So maybe Morton lasted longer than him. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Punter for the Browns. He was grandfathered in. He was old as fuck. Had handlebar mustache like Paul Tuttle Sr. Like Paul Tuttle Sr. This guy,
Italian Hulk Hogan.
this guy was awesome, dude.
Was it player?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, I always say Gary player, but
Gary,
that's obviously the
it.
golfer.
Right.
He'll be leading us off tomorrow morning.
But it is
He will be.
Will he?
Oh,
He
yeah.
will be,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be Gary and Jack.
Gary and Jack.
Yeah, are we sure?
What?
Maybe.
What do you mean?
Is that how it always? I don't know.
Scott.
Usually
Scott
Arnie's
player.
there, but Arnie's not there anymore.
Scott Player then. Scott Player was a guy. I asked for the single bar when I got drafted to the Colts and I met with the equipment room. I said, I want that one like that guy in Cleveland. I want that.
get
I
it.
want the single bar one. I want to snap it in, you know? And they're like, buddy, we can't. What do you?
What?
I'm like, the guy in Cleveland's got it. They just met me, right? These people just met me. I just got in there. What type of shoulder pads you want? Nah, whatever the smallest one's possible. I'll wear those. Okay, what type of helmet you want? Whatever the most comfortable one is. Cool. I got a massive head. Yeah, you do have a massive head. Damn. As they're measuring it, and they're like, what type of face mask you want? You know, we got a couple options. We think this one would be the best one, most space. I'm like, yeah, I want a single bar. I would like a single bar. And they're like, buddy, we can't just do that.
What?
The guy's wearing it right now. Let me pull up a picture. What do we? Do you guys even know the league you guys are in? What are you doing? You got grandfathered in, pal. Like, what do you?
So
you can't just wear that. It's so illegal. I'm like,
Might as well have no bar.
This
Might
is
as well
the
have
no
bar.
fun league, isn't it?
It's bullshit.
This is the no fun league. It's bananas. So that was how me and Frog met each other the first time.
Nice.
Frog and I are obviously very good friends to this day and got along through the whole thing. But he goes, buddy, you're a psycho. What do we? You know these guys? You just saw Robert Mathis in the weight room. Like that's who you're going to be on the field with. You wanna? Yeah, I want to be able to fucking snap that fucker up.
See everything.
Because that thing goes from here and then poop straight up to the front. What a hilarious move.
Yeah.
I would have loved
Locked
to
in.
see how I did that. Yeah, couldn't get it. But Scott Player had one, and he had this sweet. I mean, it was fucking on display because that thing was like a.
Yeah, that's why he had the one bar. He had to show off that handlebar.
Amen.
I don't know if he'll ever go down in the history of being a great punter. He punted for a long time, though. The only reason why I know this is because that handlebar mustache was white as fucking day, so he had to be
That's right.
old.
That's right.
I don't know. Nobody really talks about his.
Was it Reggie Roby who wore a watch and punted?
Yeah, that was to get his own hang time, which would be incredibly difficult, I think. Is the ball.
He didn't claim that, did he?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if he did or other people did, but yes, I've been told that by people when I go to camps. You ever think about being like Rich Roby, wear a watch and say, "Hey, check my hang time," and I'm like, that'd be tough to do.
That's ridiculous.
And also, no, because I don't want to know on every single one. But yeah, that was his kind of story. He was a great athlete, right? Reggie ran.
Waterloo.
Yeah, he's a Waterloo, Iowa guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He ran, I think. He had a long run.
Oh yeah, he was he went to East High School, which they stink in a lot of stuff now. But at the time, like they had won, they had like the high school record of they had won like 96 games in a row or something.
Pac, I think you'll agree with this. Every guy in the NFL can bomb balls. It's just how consistently can you do it. That's like the whole game of punting and kicking, pretty much.
I love it when they bum them to me. If you don't hang the ball up, kick it far as you can fucking kick it, because I'm going to get it quicker. If you can't hang it up, it's so much better, bro. Like
people don't know that
you can hang
though.
the ball up and that's what people don't realize. You can hang the fucking ball up for about 6-7 seconds. Most punters can't do that.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole game. I'm eliminating the returner guy. That's why I got a lot of fair catches. I had 0 return yards. I think like going into week 11 or week 12, I was the kickoff guy and the punt guy. We had given up 0 return yards.
Hell yeah.
Exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here. But every once in a while, you know, you got a little jet stream behind you. It's hard not to be like, I'm going to drop this fucker a little bit lower. I'm going to hit this thing far. But then you got people like Pac-Man on the other end that now have 40 yards of space.
Yeah.
And it's like, who knows what this fucking asshole is going to do? So it's just, there's a game within a game. But everybody that makes it can bomb balls. It's just whether or not you're mentally tough enough. So I assume Reggie Roby can bomb balls. Whenever I said, he could run good, I'm not just saying like that's all he fucking murdered footballs. It's not get crazy out there. Flexibility these guys all had, except for me, though, is alarming. Like,
jeez,
I can't even touch my fucking toes, pal. You know what I mean?
That's absurd.
It's like golf. It's like golf. There's a lot of guys that can go out there and shoot 67 one day, but they can't string 4 days together in a tournament.
Yeah. Eli had 88 first day,
Bingo.
75 the next day.
Exactly.
That drop or miss is a touchdown the other way. Your team loses. You're cut. Good luck. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes guys don't know what the difference is, right? Like you can hit a bad punt and then know, like, okay, I got to change. Like I got to drop it lower, or I have to fix something with the swing.
Yeah, my first 2 years in the NFL, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Hey, that was a good ball. Why did it happen?
I don't know.
Hey, that was a bad ball. What happened? Well, I got to fix it. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Everything looked the exact fucking same as the last time, but for whatever reason, just didn't do what it did. Punting's a fun sport. Kicking is as well. And Jason Hansen never got to do it in a big moment.
Oh, God, he was so good, though.
All right, let's take some phone calls and get the fuck out of here, shall we?
Hell yeah.
How's the storm? We good? TV's back on.
I was just around 3. So
Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're there.
I could hear it. Could you? I've had some. I thought some stuff was happening in my house. No, it's some nasty thunder outside, so it's coming here, obviously.
My wife sent me some photos. There's been some shit.
Yeah, after the first hour when you were mentioning it, I did just turn right, look out that front door, and it was bad.
We hope everybody's okay out there.
P's and P's.
The tornado really is just like, go somewhere else, please.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of basement there, the Thunderdome?
The whole thing is kind of a basement.
Well, Ty mentioned
What if you had to? But is there something underground where you could store stuff or get down there?
I assume there is something somewhere because in the blueprints we saw it.
Bill's Labyrinth is down there, yeah.
Oh,
His
don't go down. Don't go
Kill
down.
shelters down there, yeah.
Plausible deniability.
Thank you, Pac.
Yeah, love
Bill's
Paul.
a good guy.
He is.
Leave my buddy up.
He's killing bad people.
Ducks back there.
Ducks on a pond back here. He's not a vigilante. He's not killing bad people, AJ.
No.
Bill's not killing.
If anything, it'd be
All
like
types of
Dexter.
people.
The whole thing is kind of like a basement, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We have no windows,
windows.
really. We have no windows to the outside. Like all the windows you see there.
The whole dome will just get ripped off if it's a tornado. That's
Come
what
on.
happens.
Nah, this thing seems to be pretty sturdy. I didn't even think about that. That's quite a negative way to look at it.
Yeah,
I just
I'd
assumed
say.
this thing was locked down.
I don't believe in. It's not gonna. You're not gonna get hit. You're fine. Storms are okay.
Well, now you just jinxed us double.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you even put that in my mind? This is just like yesterday with
Thank you.
Greeny.
I appreciate you think that I have that much power mentally to control a storm and a tornado that possibly would hit you.
I don't think you have that much power to control the storm, but you do have the power to control my thoughts when the next storm comes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was
Thank you
just
again.
assuming this thing was good. No, that's not a thank you type thing. That was said satirically.
Like I take it as a
Pat,
compliment. Thank
we're
you.
good.
Thank you, Pat.
Thunderdome. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
There's the thunder.
But if it's the
Thunder.
Thunder.
Lightning in the thunder. Thunder.
That guy's jacked. You ever see him? He's jacked. He's shirtless like on all the shows.
Jocked, yeah, I seen him.
so jacked.
Unbelievable, Jack.
I seen Brantley Gilbert, I think is his name. He's got 2 guns on his back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He did a backflip off of his drum set onto the stage
That's pretty
he had brass knuckles on the microphone.
Beast.
So the handle for the microphone was brass knuckles.
That's awesome.
Kicking ass.
And he has 2 guns tattooed on his back, whole back, like
Top
from
to
here,
bottom.
from the whole back, and backflip off the thing, lands it, turns, starts singing brass knuckles. I'm like, this guy, is this the baddest motherfucker
Yeah, dog.
on earth here? I'm fascinated, AJ.
What happened?
Let's move along. I hear.
What?
I see. Let's go to the phone.
What'd he say?
You know.
We started talking about music, and I knew where he was.
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
Where was he gonna
exactly.
There's an interesting situation that is certainly
Oh,
arrived in our
geez,
world.
Louise.
Let's go to the phones. Did not know about it until very recently. It is
I'm
a big
clueless.
one. You are not.
Okay.
Gosh darn it.
Makes
What's
no
that have to do with?
just like a potential war happening. You know, like I don't know.
You were there.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Matt in Oregon on the 5-hour Energy phone line. 1-833-432-3663 or 1-833-4-DODOME. Use promo code McAfee at 5hourenergy.com to receive 20% off your order of any of the fine 5-hour Energy
dirt
products.
bag.
Matt in Oregon, what's going on, pal?
What's going on, boys? How's it going?
Keep it
Keep it
going.
going, dude. Hell yeah.
First off, shout out Magawa for his one shining moment, or as Mitt would call him, Magala.
Hell yeah.
But real quick, one question: what is your guys' thoughts on MLB expansion cities? And AJ, what are your
Matt, nobody cares about that. Now let's get back to the Magawa. And AJ, I apologize for hanging up on him before his question for you. Matt, if you could please call back and ask that question, that'd be good. What did Mitt say? Sounds like I missed a fucking beauty here. And I am very bummed that I missed this. What did Mitt do?
Magawa is, I think, like an Indonesian rat who they basically gave a Medal of Honor to because he was a bomb-sniffing rat. He would go through and sniff out mines and stuff like that. So
The greatest rat of our generation.
Yeah, the greatest rat of our generation.
A real rat?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there he is.
it
Right
is.
there, you can see he's wearing the Medal of Honor.
Hell yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Magawa.
that's so,
awesome.
so
Is it
we
real?
took, yeah, it's 1,000%
Very
real.
We talked about it for an entire episode on the pod.
We did, and then Mitt said, "So who's Mogala?"
Oh.
Just completely desecrated, Magawa's legacy and his life's work.
Okay, well, Matt, thank you for bringing this rat into my life, AJ's life, and I think Pac-Man's life. I am catching up on the episodes of the pod, which come out once a week.
Yeah.
I am obviously a Podiac. I'm a couple weeks behind.
Right.
We need that to go to 2 to 3 times a week for the good of everybody. Foxy.
Yeah, need it.
Need it to go 2 to 3 times a week. This rat's a fucking dog. huh?
Magawa
Big
is So we had a 64-team bracket of things that have been talked about on the pod in the last year. Came down to McGawa versus TC in the final. McGawa was our champion of the pod bracket. That's how fucking.
Congratulations to McGawa.
Thank you, McGawa.
Where from? Where's this rat from?
It's like Indonesia.
Cambodia.
Cambodia. There we go.
There's been 3,000
Is this thing about to fly? What is this thing about to take off? Why is it strapped
He
up?
goes in, he gnaws on the bombs, they blow them up, and they put a new rat in there.
No.
Shut your fucking mouth.
He had 2,300 bombs under his belt.
What is he? Why is he on? Why is he attached though?
Yeah, what's here? This is like a training thing. They
It's
get his
a,
leg-
a minefield, and they just fucking launch him down the line and say, "Sniff him out, McGawa."
and then they lift him whenever there's a mine.
Rings the bell and they pull him back.
No, the bomb blows up, and they say, "Hey, we need another McGawa. Throw the next guy out."
AJ, McGowan's a fucking dog, dude. There's only one of them.
The war hero.
What do you think this is? You just replace the pet frog that your daughter lost?
Yeah.
This isn't that way. This is a Medal of Honor recipient.
Yeah.
So he sniffs the bombs, and then he comes back and reports to the crew, "Hey, this is where the bomb is."
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
writes
can
the
talk.
notes.
They give him a piece of cheese after.
This guy sucks.
Yeah.
He does.
For someone to have
Looks like-
such
looks like
unique
him.
pets, too.
It looks like him. Yeah, you
I had
know.
a hamster that looked like him.
Do a little
Oh, from Cambodia,
Yeah,
dude?
didn't act like
You had a
him.
Cambodian hamster?
Do a little
Okay.
research.
I did not
okay?
know this is going to happen.
Let's go to the phones. Thank you, Matt, for the call. It was a good call. The
you,
MLB
Matt.
expansion, why are you calling our show? I mean, honestly, why like
Austin,
if Jeff...
Texas.
What's
Austin
that?
needs a team. Austin needs a team. I'm just thinking of cities where
Nashville
people move.
needs a team.
San Antonio needs a team. Nashville
Yeah.
needs a team.
Des Moines.
Indianapolis needs a team.
Tulsa.
Nashville.
Tulsa, give Tulsa a team.
Indianapolis has a team, okay?
Give us a major league team. We need an MLS team here, too, and an NHL team.
That'd
Aren't
be
they
sweet.
building a
NHL would be
$6
unreal.
billion MLS stadium?
I don't know how that got passed.
That's like the MLS lower tier too, right? It's not an MLS team.
The 11th
One day it will be. No,
The
they-
shitty
I
league.
hope so. For
It's not the
expanding.
shitty. I
Why
think
are
it is
they
the
building
USL.
why are
But
they
it's
building
yes,
six-
not for shitty.
As someone who watches the New England Revolution every single chance I get, this is the shitty league.
Why are they
I'm
building
sorry.
a $6 billion stadium then for a shitty
Because I think they're maybe trying to angle for an MLS bid,
Oh,
which
that's
I'm
the
happy for
angle?
them. Let's do it. That'd be good for the city. Also, it's another venue space for the city. We're happy about
Yeah,
that.
Tony, just look around. They're not building it. We, the people of Indianapolis who
Ursay-
live
Ursay
here,
owns
are
the 11th?
building it.
I didn't know
Taking our fucking money for
go to
it.
the
So, yeah,
phones.
it's a shitty league.
I didn't know Jim.
Let's go to the phones.
Jim owns the 11 too.
No,
Probably.
Actually, I think I have met the owner of the 11 before. He's also the owner of the Fuel, I believe, or the Fire.
Jeez.
The Fuel.
Real renaissance,
Fuel's getting
man.
a new stadium. It's gonna be
Got a real
beautiful.
team, pal.
We're trying.
Not hard enough.
Why don't you pay more taxes? I'm always trying to evade it.
Guess what?
right.
Yeah, you're on that scumbag bullshit evading your taxes. You paid your taxes, these potholes wouldn't be the way they are.
I come from a
Exactly right.
family of accountants. I pay my taxes to the dollar, my friend.
Yeah, nothing more, though. That's what we like to give around here.
you go.
More money, the IRS.
Jim Irsay's asking for more. I know that. And so is Ezreal, a prick.
Does this guy...
This guy even live here?
Ursel.
You kidding me?
His name's Ursel.
What the hell?
Can you read? I mean, what
That's
is
what
your-
I said.
He's the owner and chairman of the Indy 11. Does he also own the Indy Fuel? Or no, that would probably pop up
What
right
are the
there.
Indy 11? That's their minor league soccer?
Yeah, it's-
Bingo.
it actually, they have a pretty solid fan base. Like, Indianapolis has, I don't know what ranking it is.
Not any fuel's different.
Like, okay.
Feels
so-
awesome.
But like the Hispanic community here in Indianapolis is one of the fastest growing in the entire country or whatever. So like soccer, very, very popular in this city whenever they do like World Cup ratings and like what's being watched and everything like that. So I think a couple people saw that Indianapolis was potentially very interested in soccer. They created this Indy 11 team and it was a smashing success. I mean, like the first couple years, we're talking about filling up like a college like IUPUI Stadium. I think it was like 6,000 people, 7,000 people showing up. They had like every game. They did this whole thing. And then I don't know whatever happened. I stopped paying attention after that. That's 100% on me.
Yeah.
They then did a deal with the Colts like a few years later to play in Lucas Oil Stadium. And they played a Cincinnati team
FC.
who's now in the MLS. They were in the lower.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then they got
Real team.
relegated? Yeah.
Promoted?
Promoted
Right.
up
New
into
stadium.
the MLS almost. So I think that's what Indy 11's trying to do is like get up there. But I think it would be good for our city. Also, an NHL team would be good here in Indianapolis.
Need that to happen.
I think it would be good. They used to have like a junior B team, I think it was.
Fucking
The
Wayno played here,
USHL?
didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. It was. They used to do that very popular.
Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah, Wayno started his career here.
Fucking WHA.
Nice.
While we're talking about these teams, the baseball team needs to change their name, and maybe you can run that up the ladder in Pittsburgh.
Let's go to the phones.
It's an homage.
Excuse
Not
me.
anymore.
We at the perfect time we have an update on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers checks out Crystal Shop as he waits for jet straight. He's wearing flip-flops, a blue shirt, in sweats, shorts. I wonder if he just got done checking out the whales, whether fucking or birthing out in the ocean, or if he's on a day of chores. Small bag, was it a gift for him, a gift for somebody else?
Oh.
We will keep our eye on the developing situation here at Topanga Rocks Fine Crystals, home of Owl Falls. Shop, relax, explore. AJ, what do you know about the Bali imports here that Aaron Rodgers just went and checked out today via TMZ?
Well, I wonder if these TMZ photographers, have they just been camped out at any local crystal shop they can find out in the LA area and just, hey, like Aaron's going to have to come check us out eventually, right?
What did he buy there, you think? Is that ayahuasca
If
he's
it's
walking on?
rocks, fine crystals, are those like
Probably
the
healing
ones you-
crystals.
Yeah, healing crystal type things. You can charge them, all that stuff.
You put them underneath the moonlight and they
Yep,
charge,
there
and
you
then
go,
you bring them
dudes.
inside. And
When the moon hits your rocks like a bag full of socks, it's
amazing.
Aaron Rodgers, I guess. Looks like he's in good shape. Been throwing a football around, AJ? You've been out there playing catch with old Aaron Rodgers with these crystal rocks?
No, I have not been out there, but those like boulders next to him look nice. Maybe he bought one for the house.
Oh, and said just ship it? I can't walk out of here with it? It's a bit too heavy?
Well, and maybe he's going to this shop because he knows he might not be in the area for much longer.
Oh,
maybe one last trip.
Stock up.
Yeah.
His gait looks good. Doesn't appear to have his ankles taped at all. Looks like the toe is healthy after COVID.
He's a little thick in the hips.
He does look like he's got a good base. Remember, always had big legs. Always has big legs.
True.
Does he look happy?
Doesn't have his ankles taped. That's telling.
Yeah, he doesn't have a knee brace on.
Not
Wrist
smiling
tape.
in
No
his-
wrist tape.
No gel in his hair for
Yeah,
sure.
it kind of looks like he actually went in there and didn't find what he was looking for.
He got something. He got something.
He got gift cards. Maybe it looks like you get
Sure.
gift cards.
Could be.
That's kind of what that is.
He bought those just to because he didn't want to offend anybody in the Crystal Rock community.
Yeah, looks like he was happy that he went there, but disappointed in the result.
Bingo. And he had to buy something because everybody knows exactly how much money he has.
Yeah. Exactly.
And he's going to run into the same people that are kind of running with this.
Bingo.
Had to buy something.
Had to.
'Cause-
Can't leave this place them thinking
This guy.
fucking cheapskate didn't even buy.
I think you got a lava lamp maybe too.
You know how pissed the rock
Oh,
community
that'd
would
be a small lava lamp. What'd you say?
The rock community would be so infuriated if they found out Aaron Rodgers went to Ball of Rocks and didn't get anything.
How do you...
It's Topanga Rocks.
Excuse me.
How did he walk past that, what appeared to be statue of that very peaceful lady and not pick her up
That's
and
what I
take
was
her
thinking.
home?
That's what I was thinking.
Are
It's
all
almost
these
like a
things getting
Buddha.
shipped home? I mean, what is
right there? I see it.
Did he buy everything, you think? And
He
maybe
probably did. He probably said, "Hey, box it all up," and he gave him his address.
That's
Deliver
probably
it.
his store now.
Oh, this is actually Topanga Rocks. Can't spell
what if
Topanga
he
Rocks
owns-
without Aaron, you know?
Yep.
That's true.
And
He does like to travel. Maybe he collects all these things from his travels and he sells them there.
oh, he's like an antiquer, but it's for like the relaxing.
Like the Gary Vee of rocks.
Okay. Okay, it's starting to come together. Happy you're happy, Aaron. That's all we hope.
Boy, Aaron.
When's Gary here?
Come together.
Is Gary here soon?
Yeah, May.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
First week of May.
Beacon.
Very, very.
Gary's here with every speaker on earth except for Aaron,
Yeah.
Interesting.
who's also a speaker. We're having more photos come out of Topanga Rocks here. He's now in an alley drinking what appears to be a latte of some sort and a snack in his left hand. This is Aaron Rodgers at Topanga Rocks Crystal Shop on April 4th, 2023 in Topanga, California. This is the Town Rocks. This is Topanga Rocks in Topanga, California. What's in that little bag? You think he has some sort of maybe blueberry or apple,
Yep.
some sort of something like that?
Scone.
Some like dairy-free, vegan, gluten-free snack.
Nice. I
He,
mean,
he looks much more fit in this particular angle. He's much more stand-up. And then maybe that's before he went into Topanga
yeah,
Rocks?
before. He needs to
that's
figure it
after
the
he got
fuck
the
out with
bag.
his phone.
Yeah, but he go down, he had the coffee.
What's he doing?
I think he goes in with the coffee and the scone,
Right, and come back.
and then
out.
he comes back out with the bag.
His phone's
about to
all
fall out.
lackadaisical. I mean, he's about to drop his phone. What's this guy doing?
As soon as he sits in his car, that thing's in between the seats.
Exactly.
Aaron, we're trying to save you some hassle. Fucking tuck that son bitch in there.
Yeah, that's bad phone security.
All right. Seems like he's living his life, though.
Oh, another
Good
one.
sip.
Oh, he's sipping that.
That's a good step right there, too.
Yeah.
Great form.
Good gait.
Yeah.
It is a good game.
No ankle tape.
Trying to stay out of the sun, though. That's
Smart.
concerning.
Smart. No, that's smart.
His arm looks kind of sunburnt, so maybe he was in the sun too long.
Oh.
Yeah, he was training. He added beach training, right? Isn't that the thing that he added to his offseason we had heard, AJ?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he
5 days
went
a week.
and got a cooling rock from Topanga.
Didn't you
Go
get
with Dahn.
You got him those sandals, Age, you said?
Those little thong flip-flops, no, those usually aren't my style.
AJ not a fan of what the footwear was, but we want to let Aaron know.
He's in L.A.
Happy you're out there doing it, Aaron.
There you go, Aaron. AJ has those Velcro four-strap ones, sandals.
Oh, the Jesus rock climber.
Boom.
Or the Tevas with white socks.
Let's go into Topanga
Shooby.
Rocks here, shall we? Welcome to Topanga Rocks. This is how we rock. World-class crystals, affordable prices. The Gutesha collection is...
That's what he likes. He likes the Gutesha.
Well, don't miss the Jalen imports, too, right out front. We
that's what
saw
you guys
all those.
were-
That's where we're taking home, I think.
It's Halan.
What's that?
But Jalen will translate.
Okay, well, I apologize to Mr. Holland or Mrs. Holland. Topanga Rocks Crystal Collection here. This is what we have on the floor available right now. That round one's got to be the one that was in that bag on the way out of there.
Crystal ball, yeah.
Whoa.
That's probably huge in person.
We don't know. Well, that bag was small.
Massive.
Bag was small.
You can see the
I like that
universe
blue
in that
one.
blue
That
one.
blue one's
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely.
Is that an actual person?
Oh, look at the bowl.
Might be.
Oh, the
Can you imagine the
bowl.
guacamole you can make in that bowl?
Oh, my God. The amount of positive vibes coming from that guac. Oh,
Might
man.
change your life.
Here's the Halan Imports collection.
There we
Look
go.
at that bench. You think you got that bench where, like, you sit on it?
I mean, that looks like a bench for ants. It's hard to
Got
tell
it
what the actual dimensions
Looks
are.
so comfy, too.
Ooh, I like some
Another
of those.
bowl. They're really trying to move these bowls. I think they got a lot of these bowls.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, if he did walk out with just that little bag, let's pretend that's the situation.
Oh, shit. Look at the Chase looking thing or whatever that is.
Chase Lounge.
That thing.
That thing?
That thing looks
How?
good.
Very cozy.
How do you
Probably
walk
sleep
out
on
of the
that.
store with just that little bag?
I don't know. I'm the type of person that, like, immediate
Like that
gratification.
bottom right statue.
Coming
figure?
home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take that, please.
Coming home. I'm actually pulling up with a trailer attached to
Yeah.
the Range Rover that he was driving.
Yeah. Load it up.
Hey, boys, congratulations. I'm here to take everything.
I want some of them.
Fat guy in the bottom thing, give me it.
Bring
All
some
the
of
bowls,
those purple lung boobs. Bring with some of them.
boom, give me those things. How about the big elephant nose thing? Don't know what it is?
Yes, please.
Send it
Wheel
in.
it out.
The Chase thing that looks like it's very uncomfortable
Awesome.
but looks cool. Need it for the backyard.
Yep.
Are you buying the Buddha things too?
Have to.
Oh, yeah.
So is that what they are? Those are the Buddha things? Is this all a Buddhist thing?
Some of it.
Can't have just one. You got to have multiple Buddha statues.
Well, he did have to have dinner with those Buddhas the one night. That's why he couldn't meet with the Packers.
He did say that, and that was one of the best moments I've ever heard in my entire
Or maybe it
life.
was monks. I can't remember.
Wasn't there a guy in Hard Knocks that had a rock collection? Maybe he's recruiting that guy, getting him a gift.
Oh,
From the Browns.
Yeah.
Cajuste.
Yeah.
Cajuste.
That's got to be it.
His dad was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
when you whistle.
Yeah. And then
Hope
he
he's doing okay. They
he would look
mentioned
around.
on the show he had like 10 heart
Probably,
attacks.
yeah.
Oh,
Hope he's
shit.
okay. Hope everybody's okay.
T's and P's.
Praying to all the Buddhist gods. Let's go to the phones. Congrats to Aaron getting out there doing it.
He looks really happy.
Think about the restraint he displayed after we saw what was on the floor of Topanga Rocks.
Yeah.
And he comes out with that little baby thing. What a guy.
He should start messing with people. He should start just going to sex shops and come out with big double headers and weird strap-ons and things that you can see through his plastic bag just to mess with the paparazzi.
Call him. Tell him to do that.
I'm going to send a text after this.
Aaron, we need you to go into every sex shop, pick up the arm of dildos, put that thing right over your shoulder, walk out.
For real.
Could you imagine it with
Smiling.
that,
And that's when he's smiling the whole time, too, always.
in those little flip-flops,
Yeah.
dong over shoulder, latte
Double dong.
left hand,
Yeah.
He's carried 202 firemen carry of dongs.
with his coffee, sipping out of his coffee.
Maybe one of those fuck saws, the sawzaws. with the big dildo.
And that thing's in his pocket. You know how his phone was coming out of his pocket? Maybe it's a
He's carrying a
thing.
Sibian on his shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah. Tucks it
Double
into his,
flashlights in the back pocket.
tucks
no
a
question.
flashlight into his waist belt.
Aaron, what are you up to? He's gonna go help some friends that are soaking. That'd be amazing. Hey, enjoy your life out there, Aaron. We won't be watching.
Keep it going, Aaron.
Hey, enjoy your privacy, man. Just enjoy being a human.
Uh-huh. No one's following you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're not everything you do outside your house is being tracked. What a life. Let's go to Jason in Houston. What's going on, Jason, on the 5 Energy phone line?
Fellas, what it do? Look, I can't keep it moving because I don't know when I'm gonna get back in, and I got to get y'all these flowers. I called in twice before, and I wasn't able to get.
Oh no.
Oh, no. This is the third time. This is the third time, Jay. Third time's charm until your connection says, nah.
There you go.
Can you hear me back?
Yeah, you sound good, Jason. We couldn't hear you there at the beginning, though. Third time we did hear, and you said you wanted to give flowers. We heard all the great things you said about us. What do you want to talk about, man?
Okay, yeah. So look, I want to ask a question. If I told you that a player was the number one quarterback, and the number one player in America, playing for the number one school in America, who then leaves and goes to the University of Alabama, wins the first Heisman in the school's history, okay? If I told you that guy was supposed to be the number one overall pick, would you really think that was that crazy? Now, I will say this. Like, I understand that he's small. I understand that Bryce is very, very small. And I understand that, obviously, college is much different than the NFL. But if ever an opportunity to gauge an NFL caliber defense, it would be that Georgia's defense. They had 5 first-rounders, and that's not including Jalen Carter, Kylie Ringo, Nolan Smith. Like, so this team could literally have fucking 9 first-rounders on it, and Bryce fucking torched them. 460 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he would have done it back-to-back had he not lost both of his 1,000-yard receivers. He had fucking Slade Bolden out there as the number one receiver. You want to know what a fucking dog Bryce Young is? Go back and watch that Auburn game and look at him. He had multiple fourth downs. Season on the line. We lose that game, we don't go. I'm a diehard Alabama fan. I actually own a restaurant in Tuscaloosa across from Brian Denny, and I'm telling you, Bryce Young is widely regarded. You were at the Pro Bowl, Pat, right? So you know half of the guys there were from the University of Alabama. Bryce Young is widely regarded by former players and fans alike as the best player we ever fucking had.
Hey, Jason. Jason.
Yes.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide, my brother.
Okay, great promo there for Bryce Young.
Unbelievable.
And I think that's what Lombardi, right? Lombardi said that he was not a Bryce Young fan because of his size. And then a couple weeks pass, and then he comes back on the show, and he's like, I've changed on my thoughts on Bryce Young. That's the pick at number one with how great of a player he is. Obviously, the Alabama faithful are going to talk highly of him because of how talented he is. They didn't win a natty, right, which is going to be talked about because he's talking about how good that defense was. He also had 9 first-rounders playing with him, which, you know, is obviously a weapon. It's not always going to be like that in the NFL, which is why the size is such a question, because all he needs to take 1 hit, 2 hits, and availability is your greatest ability. So everybody's a little bit worried. Sounds like this guy's a fucking player. Yeah. And from all accounts, he is the guy. I respect it. He's got the best brain, allegedly, in the draft whenever it comes to cognitive recall and everything like that. He seems to make every single throw, and everybody that knows football says this guy's different. I respect it. Bryce Young's going to the Carolina Panthers, it seems like.
I don't think he's going to Carolina Panthers.
Whoa. Pat, did you hear what he just said?
No, bro, I understand what he's saying. Bullshit. He said all that. Oh, he was the best fucking player to ever come through Alabama. Well, why in the fuck he did not win it? He should have won it if he was the best player to ever come through Alabama. He should have been able to win that motherfucker by himself. It's a lot of good players that done came through Alabama. Like he said, the year before that, he had all of the dogs. Every last one of them motherfuckers from Alabama was drafted in the first fucking round. Now last year he had some okay talent. He stuck up the fucking place. Yeah, everybody's smart. He's fucking playing up on the Nick.
Not everybody's smart.
He's playing up on the Nick Saban, bro. It's a pro offense. It's a pro program. Those guys are way ahead of the games from Alabama, from Georgia, from the SEC, West Virginia.
Wow.
Then other guys that's coming from different schools like Texas Tech. You know, I ain't gonna keep going down the list, but yeah.
You don't have to bury everybody.
Schools.
It is an advantage to be a Bama. I agree, mentally and the way you operate, everything like that. You're getting a head start on what the NFL life would be like, especially with older players going to the NFL, coming back and kind of taking care of it. But the whole not winning at Bama is something that a casual like me is certainly going to have to think about. Go ahead, Ty.
Did it say he was from Houston?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because they have the second pick, so you'd think that this guy would want to come in and start throwing some shade, maybe get a guy who he's in love with to slip down to number 2. I mean, I don't know. The Lombardi thing really sold me because, like, he is one of those guys.
He was hard against him.
And he's one of those guys who, like, if he comes out and says, like, this guy stinks, like, that guy stinks. He's not flipping his decision. He's not going back on that. But I think that is and I guess if that's the only thing people are concerned about is, you know, his height, like that is kind of a big deal, but he checks every other box, so we'll see. I mean, I guess that's the thing too is like Carolina. If you go to Carolina, like they might be decent next year. If he goes to Houston, like they're gonna stink for the next few years.
Whoa, D'Amico Ryan's going to turn around. AJ, how tall were you whenever you came out?
6'1", barely.
How heavy?
Like 248 at the combine.
What'd you run?
I don't know.
4'4". You do.
All right, it ended up being a 4.4.
something. 4.5 something, I think.
6'1", 240, pro day, you ran a 4.4, okay?
Yeah.
It counts. It happened.
That's a
So,
good size for a linebacker. Not saying that he's not a good player. I'm just saying size, I don't know.
6'1", 240, running a 4.4. I understand that the
Yeah,
SEC is filled with a lot of people.
Yeah.
This it's not just that generation of people from the SEC.
Yeah.
It's all the all-stars from the previous generation of the SEC and the previous generation of the Big Ten that are still in the league that are just getting bigger, stronger, faster, smarter. It's like, and it's always said about Lamar too. And it's not fair because Lamar has the ability to avoid hits, as does Bryce Young. It sounds like if you listen to Lombardi speak about it, it's like the guy has the capability to have a good sense of feel and he avoids big hits. So if he can do that, that's all of these conversations are kind of stopped. But I think everybody that's in the NFL just immediately thinks like,
You're gonna get hit.
Yeah, we haven't seen nobody do it. That's all I'm saying. Shit. The Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Who else? We ain't gonna even fucking put the little short kid in Arizona in the conversation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Okay.
Count Drew.
That's it.
that was a Sean
Drew's
Payton's
the
offense.
most. Is Drew the most successful quarterback at hit under 6 foot? I would imagine.
Yes.
Definitely.
Not even
And that have a lot to do with who his head coach was.
Yeah, and the offense. The system is a big deal, and hopefully Carolina or Houston, who ends up taking him, will be able to have a great offensive system that will protect him and obviously give him the opportunity to grow, which I assume everybody's thinking about. But that's the only thing anybody's saying negative about is like, is this guy going to be able to survive the NFL? Everybody seemingly thinks yes, so I'm pumped to watch him. It sounds like the NFL is about to gain a fucking superstar.
I assume the guys at the top, like him and Stroud, both want to go one, but you wonder what he would rather do. Go to Carolina where there's, the offensive-minded head coach, and they used their first-rounder last year on a tackle, Icky out of NC State, or go to Houston at 2 with D'Amico as a defensive head coach, so might have a little turnover if they have success, but then you also have, Laramie Tunsil. Mechie was one of the guys who he had 1,000 yards with at Alabama, who was out last year with, I think he had cancer or something, but you wonder what he would like to do.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Chris in Austin on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Pat, how's your dick swinging out of your balls hanging?
All right, nice.
Keep it slinging.
Nice, like that. Like what you're doing, pal. Right now, a little tight. The weather change might have been the altitude pressure, but everything's good, pal. What do you want to talk about?
I'll pick it up what you're putting down, man. Is it cool if I just talk my shit for a minute?
Sure, man. I don't know who you are, but yeah, absolutely. Take it. Floor's yours.
First off, shout out Pac-Man. You smell me?
You smell me?
There we go.
I'm a recent UT grad, man, and a Cowboys fan. It's been a tough decade, man. First thing first, Dak is done. And I love this guy because he's half black, half white, just like me, and Obama. But this guy has more turnovers than the tires on my 09 Impala, and she's got 250,000 miles on it.
Okay,
it's been hard to root for the boys ever since Jerry.
Nice.
I saw that picture of him saying, hey, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Regardless,
Did see that.
they need to get a QB in Hendon Hooker at the 3rd or 4th round, or maybe even Stetson Bennett, because, he's raising out. And I just wanted to ask respectfully, we're opening up internships again?
All right, Chris. Not a bad performance there. If we were, would certainly do that. Great phone call out of Austin. I appreciate that. Mike McCarthy's going to change all that, the turnovers and why they haven't been able to get there. It does feel like the conversation is always, is Dak going to be able to win it? Is Dak going to be able to win it with how good that defense has got? What are your thoughts of Big Mike and Dak's relationship and what it's going to look like next year, AJ?
I think Big Mike loves Dak. I really do. But also going back to the caller, he said if you can pick up Hendon Hooker in the 3rd or 4th round, I would imagine anyone's jumping on Hendon Hooker in the 3rd or 4th round. He's not lasting that long.
I don't think he's making it to the. I don't think.
Second, no way.
I think this is going to be a Jordan Love situation. I think it's going to be a trade up and last half or late in the first round.
I think so.
Take a quarterback. I think
he's getting drafted in the 1st round.
I think so too. He should.
Yeah.
Modern medicine, modern science.
They've talked about the Saints with that pick that they acquired.
What do you think about the Cowboys? Obviously, you got an affiliation with them.
It's a prove year for Dak. You don't play good this year, we're going to look for something else. Hey, we love you, Dak.
A lot of money.
But you got to get across the hump right now.
He does. That Kellen Moore offense.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go in
like Zeke.
Chargers.
Zeke still a free agent.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens with Zeke, where it ends up. But they got Tony Pollard still, right? That run game is about to become a much more prevalent part of that Cowboys offense. I think that's going to help quarterback. I think it's going to help Dak. And hopefully Mike McCarthy still knows how to call a game and everything. Because if he doesn't, Dak's done and Big Mike's done. Yeah. That's an interesting year that they're staring down there in the Big D.
Last year, they both had they rushed over like I want to say 2,000 together combined. I want to say, but Dak got to make the plays.
He's throwing about 45, 50 times a game.
Added Brandon Cooks. They're going all in on Dak making it happen this year.
Big Mike ain't.
Yeah, true.
Big Mike, that's because Jerry isn't, I think. But yeah, you're right. The Cowboys are always going to have enough star power to potentially win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Every year. Every year it's going to be like, we have enough players. We should be able to win a Super Bowl. The guys we have in here are enough to get us to a Super Bowl at certain positions. And then it's like, another year, Groundhog's Day. Did not happen. This team stinks. Everything needs to change. That's the Cowboys, baby. That's Cowboys football.
Yeah, and they don't have the luxury of like managing expectations. Like that's not a thing. Like you have a team who just went to the Super Bowl in your division who's very, very good. Like doesn't fucking matter. Right. People expect the Cowboys to win the division and go play for a Super Bowl, whether they're good enough to or not. Like that doesn't matter.
And everybody's going to see it because they're on primetime every week.
Exactly.
America's team.
Last call. Well.
Not
America. It is it's still American teams when
only
it comes.
because Rooney's
What other team that don't share no revenue when it comes to apparel and everything?
Yeah, I mean Jerry.
Cowboys.
Jerry is a hell of a negotiator.
Smart.
Yeah, he is a good businessman. That guy's a good businessman.
Yes, he is.
What's going on over there? He's a good businessman. Last call here on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-432-3663. If you weren't able to get through today, we'll be back on it tomorrow. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 20% off your order of 5-Hour Energy. Gary Player just drained a 20-footer.
Hell yeah, Gary.
What a putt by Gary Player.
In the par 3 deal or what?
Yeah. They changed that par 3 this year, right? I think they changed a few holes on that par 3.
I believe they did.
From what I heard, I think from what I heard.
What I read on
just
the
from
internet.
watching on the internet, yeah, I think they changed that par
Scooty
3.
hit a hole in one. He's dotting.
Uh-oh. What a quick 500 on him. He was plus 700. Let's go to the last call of the day here. Let's go to Braden in Michigan. Braden, what's going on from the Mitt?
Yo, what's going on, boys? How you doing? Keep moving.
Thank you.
Yep. Good boy.
You did it.
I just wanted a quick question for Tone. I'm a Lions fan, but Steelers are my second team here.
That's not a
thing.
NFC
That's
AFC.
not a
NFC
thing.
AFC.
Come on.
NFC AFC. The team didn't go to the fucking playoffs for 45
I dealt
years.
with a guy who did that before, and it ruined my life. So hang up on this.
And I'll actually say this. Some of my best friends are Steelers fans, not Lions fans. It's kind of a thing in Michigan. Steelers are just a big team.
Yeah, America's team.
Because wheels on a bus went round and round.
I make it out. I make it out to Heinz each year for a game.
Whoa,
Now it's
whoa,
called
whoa,
the Sure, so we make it out to the Sure. But
a little respect.
I was just wondering, Tone, would you rather take a tackle maybe like Paris Johnson or any of those guys out of Ohio, which we currently own here in Michigan? Don't want to say that too loud. Or are you thinking
Suck it, Hawk.
corner, kind of like Joey Porter Jr., Tello Weatherspoon? I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
He wants to know what Steelers are going to do in the
Personally,
draft.
I hope
Your
they
thought?
take offensive line the first fucking 3 rounds.
Need it. Especially with Canada's offense, with not being able to really design anything that can be explosive, so you're going to need to run the ball.
Plus, you win a game in the trenches. We saw it with the Eagles. We saw the Chiefs have a great O-line. The Niners have a great O-line. O-line. O-line.
All right.
We'll figure out the corner.
They added in free agency,
They
too.
did. Got
They
CM All.
some guys.
Herbig,
who's a massive son of a bitch.
Still need tackles.
All right. Well, hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. Can't wait for us to try to predict what every team's going to do during the draft spectacular. This one's going to be bigger and more enjoyable for us, at least, than ever.
Hell yeah.
For everybody.
We got some real surprises, AJ. Real surprises.
Can't wait. I like being surprised like everybody else.
We're exploring the space. We're really exploring the
Gonna
space.
use every inch.
We're going to try to, at least. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Pac, you want to do a giveaway for the fine people on this Winter Wednesday?
Smile me.
What do you want to do, Pac?
Make some putts.
Fucking putt thing is
Putts? I mean, we're one day from the Masters.
Yeah, definitely. do the
Oh,
putt.
yeah.
Putt's hard, too, isn't it?
Do it.
He's not happy.
All you got to do is go 1 of 5.
football.
All you got to do is go 1 of 5, Pac.
We don't want to have to
Gotta make one.
No, bro, I'm going 2 of 5.
Okay. All right.
I can go down.
Make 5.
You go 2 of 5. We'll give 15 people $500
Boom.
on this Masters
No
week.
pressure.
That's all you got to do. And all the people got to do to win is just retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, make the world a little bit better place, and then put the most efficient way to pay you electronically, something happened to Cash App.
Yeah.
T's and P's.
0 for 1, pulled it left again. Let's go ahead and let's remember that.
Here we go.
Let's remember that.
Aggressive speed. Good speed.
Look at those shoes.
Hope you're happy, AJ. Hope you're happy.
He's going to make this one.
Okay.
Adam Pac-Man Jones, another left roll.
Fix that green. Someone needs to fix that break.
Move the ball this way, towards the stage a little bit. Move the ball towards the stage a little bit. Get right in between the two holes. Boom.
That's too far.
Yeah, maybe back a little bit the other way.
There's
a. You were there. You were there. You were there.
You just had
Y'all fucking with me?
No, back towards you. No, there's a spine. I think there's a spine. No, a little bit more towards you. Boom. Right there, I think.
Come on.
This one's going in for sure. All Pac-Man's got to do is go 2 of 3 here, and 15 people win $500.
Oh, this would be big.
Here we go.
Nice. Okay.
Pac-Man just got to go 1 of 2 here. 15 people will win $500 who retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody and put their most efficient and easy way to pay you electronically, whether that's Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Rest in peace.
Here it is.
Oh,
man. We got to move that ball.
You should have been lifting more weights earlier.
Oh, instead of running on the treadmill.
Slap you in the mouth.
Oh, no.
Sorry, you got one more ball. It'll be fine.
Hey, that one would have went in, though. That's good news.
Yeah, that was right on.
You're pretty much 2 for 2 right now. All you got to do is nail this last one.
Yeah.
And 15 people will win $500.
Come on, you little gold ball.
I saw Pac think about Connor for a good second.
Yeah, I thought smacking the taste out of his mouth
with the putter. With the putter,
With the putter.
Don't worry. We'll all be friends when he makes this.
So violent.
Oh, the silence was deafening.
Yep.
Adam Pac-Man Jones just won 15 people $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you electronically, whether that's PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace of the founder.
Peace.
But congratulations, Pac.
Way
That
to
was
go,
awesome.
Pac.
I made it, AJ.
I knew you would, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
knew you would.
You would have won 3 of 3 on those last 3, but 2 of 3 was good enough to win for the beautiful people.
They're fucking hating. That's why.
Well, that's why. That motivated you. That made you better.
Yeah.
That made you better. George Kittle was great today. Thank you to him. Drew Rosenhaus was fantastic, and so was Eli Manning. AJ, what a performance from the attic. All the boys in the back, everybody else. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this every single day. This has been the Pat McAfee Show. We're going to Chef Bo's. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.